You put the seaweed in the mouth.
That's the slogan on the bag.
Tempura seaweed.
You put the seaweed in the mouth.
Hi guys, isn't that too?
Hi. Oh, are we going now? On my way here, I've been thinking about, I have to get this out. I've been trying to keep it in my brain since it happened. I was getting off the highway and flipping through the radio at the same time, which is questionable. And also I drive a manual, so I'm cooler than you thought I was. Yeah. And so I was doing a lot at once. And when I was flipping through the radio, I heard someone go, rattle. And then I just clicked the station. I was like, what the heck? And so I go back. And all they said was, I mean, if you put the rattlesnake in the bucket with another snake, it'll rattle. And I was like, what are they talking about? And then I was like, this isn't music. Click. So I never found out.
Wow.
What they're talking about. Yeah. The best one of those.
Curiosity didn't kill the cat.
No. Sure. I'm alive. The best one of those I ever heard is I was flipping through the radio, and then the lady was just like, you burp it out. And I was like, what? And so I go back, and then the guy was just like, yeah, you burp it out. And if you don't burp it out, you'll just fart it out later. And I was like, excuse me? And I went back, because it was like scanning, so I went back to try and figure out what they were talking about. I couldn't go back to the station. Oh. So if anyone was listening to that, please let me know
on June 29th.
I was driving to work at 2:50 o'clock in the morning listening to someone go, you farted out later. It's like, you guys, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. What could you possibly talk about?
The wondrous waves of radio.
Those wondrous waves. And we're on them.
We're on them.
This is ABCDEFG radio.
ABCDEFG radio.
Yeah, stands for All Babies
Cry every wait D
every freaking day. Does that work? ABCD All Babies Cry Day every freaking.
All babies cry daily, ever forever.
Ever forever, dude. All them babies. Where it's just the two of us.
Naturally.
Did we say that? I can't remember.
No.
It was so long ago. Your rubber tree is looking really poppin'.
Thanks.
It looks happy there.
Rubber tree.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Money tree.
The money tree.
Where did you get rubber tree?
You can
from?
Get. Why are you saying it like that?
You said it like that.
Tree. I fully did not.
Yeah.
I said it regular.
Run the recording.
Run the track. I said it's so cool and good.
Yeah, it's gotten tall.
It's got 3 stalks. 4
4
stalks? Is that 1 tree, 4 stalks?
Yeah, you're supposed to braid it.
What?
It's a thing.
Oh, like you encourage it to be braided?
Because you see how this stuff is
Yeah.
Yeah, I should braid it. I'm not going to though because I'm lazy.
Has not that ship sailed? Could you start braiding it now?
Yeah, I could start braiding it now because
okay.
it hasn't turned into bark.
Bark. We have a money tree. So why did I not know that that's what that was? I don't know.
Because you don't take care of it.
That's true. My mom does because she's good at that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It had to do with trees. Oh, you seen that picture of that tree? It's like a bonsai. It's like a bonsai apple tree. And it made one
Oh,
apple.
yeah, one full-sized apple.
I love that. And so it was just you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm an apple tree. This is what we do. Put all my effort into creating a single apple. And it's all bent over.
Yeah.
Apple probably tastes like crap.
I bet it tastes amazing.
Sand or something.
It put all of its energy into that one apple.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a freaking, what is it? Oh my God, creation of love.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the word for
creation.
That's not even product is what I wanted to say.
A fruit of its labor, if
there
you will.
You go.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
I'm gonna drink something. Let's start.
Yeah.
So the recap is Tavumile's going to the ball.
Yep.
Right? She met a knight that was as quiet as of the silence. Turns out it's not a knight. It's 2 dwarves in a suit of armor who swore on their honor that they would get into the ball even though they had been banned. And so this was their big plan. So they're going to sneak into the ball.
And also Tavumile guessed that there were 2 of them in the
she did. She, not Shay. Tavumile guessed that there were 2. Which I have to say, I was so excited for that to be a big reveal. And then you were just like, are there 2 of you in there? I was like, freaking no. The whole time I was like, should I say we are, or should I just say I? Like, how should I phrase this? And then anyway, so foiled. You've been foiled.
Tavumile is not that smart, but she's a little
smart. You looked out the window, some stuff went down.
Had a freaking stroke?
Some sort
hallucination?
Of psychotic episode. Who knows? And then you kind of came out of it, and then Arliss, who is the dwarf number 1, was just like, okay, now it's time to be cool. We got to go to the ball because we got to go to the ball. And then you were like, okay. And then you got on the carriage. Felt a little sleepy tired. It's just you and Arliss because everybody's got different carriages because we rich out here. Felt a little sleepy tired. And you fell asleep.
Yep.
And then we started clip clopping past the ball.
I only fell asleep. Yeah, just sleeping.
Yep, just sleeping.
Just sleeping.
Not as a result of any sort of spiking of of beverages. You just got a little tired. Just kidding. You just fully drank something and then you're sleepy, and then she's asleep. And Arliss notices that they're going past the ball. They're going to wake you up, and then she can't. Oh no. In the meanwhile, the boys are...
Yeah, the boys.
Yeah, the boys are trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah, Ethiod thinks that everyone is in love with everyone because he's 16 and he doesn't know how any of this works.
Indeed. They're trying to figure out what to do next. Everyone's getting in disguises as per Ethiod's game plan, which, by the way, as a DM, little BTS behind the scenes.
K-pop fan over here.
What?
BTS.
It means behind the scenes.
I know.
Little Bantang Sonyeondan here. I think that's what they're called. I was so happy when you did that because I was like, I really don't know how this is going to work out. And you're like, why don't we disguise ourselves? I was like, oh, thank God. Yes, why don't you? Anyway, so going into the liquor store, Thalen joined the boys. Everyone gets all disguised up. And then we get ready to start making our way downtown, walking fast paces, down. Anyway, so you ready to rumble?
Yeah. Oh, also introduced to a new character, the sister of Arliss, who I am now playing.
Yes, indeed. An additional.
Third.
Cool. So we ready to party?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you are in a it's all white.
Oh God, another one of these.
And it's kind of like, bubbly. You're feeling kind of like, that feeling of like when you pass out, and everything's white around you. You have that kind of like beep, like that one note tinnitus thing, like playing in your head. Is it tinnitus? Tinnitus. Tinnitus. And you are kind of like in that space, and it's kind of like foggy, cloudy, whatever. And as everything kind of like crystallizes into view, you see that you are in a very familiar location to you. And you, Tavumile, are at your house. Yeah. And what does that look like?
What does my house look like?
Yeah.
What room am I in?
You're in the kitchen. You're sitting at the dining table.
Okay. Oh, I'm so excited because I've been imagining her house.
This house is so good.
So the kitchen is like right next to the front door. You walk in, and then the kitchen's like to your when you're walking, it'd be to your right. I have to imagine, put the hands up. And the kitchen's to the right, and there is like, it's all like really old wood flooring. And there's a little tiny like woven rug in front of the door, and little curtains in front of the door that have like a little window pane. And in the kitchen, there's a bunch of different cabinets and shelves, and like open shelves, and like little hooks to hook like pots and pans and tongs and all that on there.
I love that so much.
And it's like kind of messy, but kind of like, it's like clean.
Yeah,
still.
It's like aesthetically messy.
Yeah,
it's messy for the aesthetic.
Yeah. And there's a big window in front of the sink, which is just like a basin. It's just like a little copper basin. Mm-hmm. And all the countertops are like warped kind of wood. Like you can tell that somebody just sanded down like a thing that they cut off and put that there. and they have like a little wood burning stove that they use as their
yes. I love it so much.
that they use as to cook their stuff and all that. And they have little chests that have like dry goods, and in above the kitchen table, which is right in the middle of all of this, the kitchen table itself is like a wooden table that's kind of like uneven a little bit, and all the chairs don't match. And right above it, they have like herbs and flowers and stuff hanging from the ceiling to dry.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I love it so much.
And I would say right under the like table itself, there's like another little woven rug too that's just kind of like big enough just to be under the table. And yeah, that's what the kitchen looks like.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I literally, because I was gonna let you do this. I was just like, a room with a table and a kitchen. This is really good. Cool. And so as Tavumile sitting at the table, that Lucien is there, and so is your mom, and you also know that you are about to have breakfast.
Okay, they're sitting at the table with me?
They're there.
Okay.
What are they doing?
Okay. All right. Oh, I love this so much.
Domestic AU.
Yeah. Our next campaign is just going to be living a nice, simple life.
Relaxing life where nothing bad ever happens. Everything's fine.
My mom, even though that she has been sick for a while, she has always loved cooking, and I feel like Tavumile has always been really bad with it. I think that she takes I am making potions approach to cooking, and stuff gets just everywhere.
Paprika, a little salt, a little pepper.
See what happens. Yeah. And then it's like you pour out a bowl of dark liquid, and they're like, this is oatmeal? It's like, yes.
Yes, it is.
So her mom generally is like, oh, no, it's all right. I will cook. It's fine. So I would say that she's kind of like going through the cabinets right now, getting like little cutlery out, getting the mugs out.
Okay, so is that your mom who's setting the table, or you?
I think that she is getting these stuff out, but just putting it on the countertop, and then I would like put it out while she is finishing up cooking whatever she's cooking.
Tavumile, you have to remember the fork goes on the left.
Right, the left. And I think that she sticks out her hand.
The L's. Yeah. You write with your left hand.
I can't remember how I'd hold my pen.
It's this hand.
Okay.
Here, I'll do you a favor. And so you're in this. You don't get it. This is happening. You're wearing kind of like a right below the elbow length, like 3/4 length sleeve shirt, and she's gonna grab the fabric of the sleeve on your right arm, and she's gonna roll it up.
Okay.
And just think, rolled is right. So your right, yes, the shirt that is rolled on the right side, that's your right hand. Okay. Right. So the other hand, so that's the side that the knife will be going on.
All right.
Perfect.
Mom, you're always so smart. You always come up with really good solutions for all this stuff.
Well, I've, had lots of life experience to get this all figured out.
You're right.
And you guys are like Nico beaming. And like Lucien.
Yeah.
What's Lucien doing?
I think that Lucien is I think initially he's kind of just like sitting there like at the table kind of waiting for stuff, and then I think he gets like a little bit antsy, like I don't want to just be sitting down. And so I think that he just like kind of walks around, like paces a little bit, and then like sees the little straw broom that we have in the kitchen, and he just like grabs that and starts sweeping nothing.
Oh, so his motivation is like, I have to help. I don't know how or what to do, so I'm going to just generally move around. Okay, got it. Yeah. So with your little sleeve rolled interaction, he's gonna look over and give you kind of like a familiar, just like you two, kind of like eyebrow raise while he sweeps the same spot over and over again.
Is it particularly dirty over there?
Oh, yeah, well, I just figured what are you making, Miss Fenra? Oh, well, you see, I figured I would make, buckwheat pancakes.
I love those so much. Did we get from the market any of that maple syrup that Miss Grosny makes?
Oh, sweetheart, why do you think I'm making these? And she, like, pulls it out from behind her back, and it's got, it like, you know that she came by, like, Miss Grozny came by and dropped some stuff off because she was being neighborly, and she knows your mom is sick. Yesterday, you didn't know that that's what she was dropping off, but you would think that because there were no buckwheat pancakes cooked yesterday, that the bottle would be full, and, like, it's got kind of like a red wax seal on it, and that has been disrupted, and there's a little bit gone.
Okay.
So that's just something that you notice.
Okay.
Yeah. And
She's always so nice. I want to be that nice when I get older, too.
I know, and I wish I could make something as delicious as this. And she, like, there's, like, a little drip on the side, and she, like, takes it with her finger and, like, licks it and stuff.
Okay.
She's gonna go back to kind of, like, flipping pancakes and stuff, and Lucien is finding something else to pretend to help
Lucien, I didn't really have much to do today because all of the crops, they don't need to be tended to today because I did everything yesterday. Would you like to go on a walk with me today, or maybe go to the flower fields?
I suppose, you know, I've got a lot of stuff to do, but, you know, how much time do you think we'll be gone for? He's, like, wiping the same spot on the counter.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot of... It's hard for me to keep track of the time because I don't really know what the sun is doing ever. It just kind of looks like it's always in the sky until it's not.
He's making the face that I'm making, which you can't see, which is just pure amusement. It's just like, sure thing, man. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, I suppose we could do that. That sounds like it'd be, you know, nice.
I'm very excited. Mum just made a dress for me the other day. It has a lot of different colors in it, so maybe I could wear that, and then it would be like a nice flower dress.
He looks like he's getting weirdly emotional. Like he's just like, this is so adorable. Like, what? Yeah, I mean, I suppose, yeah, I mean, that sounds nice. Is it okay if I wear just this then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that sounds good. He's like, how do I end this? Because I can't deal with it. And just at that moment, your mom sets down the plates at the table, and she puts one out for Lucien first, always because he's the guest. And then she puts one down for you, and then she puts one down for herself.
Okay.
And just clunk, clunk, clunk. And you notice that the one that she put down for herself is like the first pancake, which is always like the reject.
A little bit,
yeah, it's like the dumb looking. But the other thing that she did on your plate is, you know, like when you make pancakes, you make a little bunch of like little baby pancakes.
Yeah.
There's a little pile of little baby pancakes on your plate because she knows that those are your favorite ones.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I think that Tavumile just smiles at it and then like plops down into the chair and kind of like holds both her fork and her knife like in her hands and fists and like rests them on a table because she's like,
I know that Mum will get upset if I eat before anybody else, so I have to have patience.
Friggin' just trying to have self-control. But there are so many little baby pancakes.
There are so many little baby pancakes, and they're my favorite.
Yeah, your mom is like making a meal, if you will, out of like getting, like she made Lucien coffee because he's like a man or whatever, and she made y'all two tea, and she's like making a big production of putting it all out because she's trying to make your life hard, like as you like sitting there like,
I like
I'm
keep glancing at her like,
yeah, you're like the pancakes, the little pancakes back to her, and she's just like la la la, like I don't know anything. What's that, darling?
I'm very hungry.
Well, just wait one more minute. I'm just getting the cream. Don't make that noise.
I'm sorry.
You know, you've got to wait.
Okay.
It's fine. And Lucien is like gonna sit down and roll a perception check.
okay. I love this. Let me use the correct character sheet because for a long time last episode, I was using Ethiod's freaking pluses and stuff for Tavumile, and I was like, well, shit. Freaking. You said perception check?
Yeah.
4.
Okay. You you hear kind of like Lucien make a noise, but like you think he's just kind of like adjusting his setup that he's got, like forks and knives and stuff like that. And then your mom turns around with the cream for the tea and the sugar and stuff like that, and she goes, Lucien, that pancake didn't look like that when I put it down. And he's like, it did. You're wrong. Tavumile did it.
Go.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
She did. I saw her, take a bite out of my pancake. It was totally her. It wasn't me. And
I did not. Lucien is a liar.
While you see that, you roll another perception check.
Okay.
I'm going to have your mom roll it too.
10.
Your mom and you both watch Lucien wipe a crumb from the corner of his mouth.
See, you are a liar. You.
Miss Fenra, I'm just so hungry.
Me too, Mom.
Okay, fine. I guess we'll get it started. Okay, Tavumile, would you like to say grace?
Sure.
I close my eyes, but I'm still holding the freaking fist of cutlery.
This food is really good, and I'm really glad that Miss Grosnin is nice, and I really like baby pancakes, so I'm glad that I have some. Can we eat now?
Yes, you can. And you open your eyes, and Lucien the whole time was very slowly just reaching with his hand for the pancake, during the whole time of your thing. And so when you open your eyes, he has a cheek that's just a little bit bigger, and half the pancake is gone.
I think I squint at him a little bit and be like,
well, you're a fast eater.
What?
You ate all that in 1 second.
Nothing happened.
All right. I'm gonna eat my baby pancakes.
They're so good, Miss Fenra. Oh my goodness. And she's like, I'm glad that you like them.
I'm going to town.
Tasmanian devil style. He's like, at least I, they're side looking at you, and he's like, at least I have some table manners, And she's like, okay.
Whoa, ma'am. Well, really good. So this is a compliment.
Well, I mean, I use my words to compliment her instead
Oh,
of...
these are really good.
I would ask if you were raised by wolves, but I know that's not true. And your mom is smiling the way that moms do when they're like, my family. You know what I mean? That way. And while you are just pounding down these friggin' pancakes, Lucien is now that his pancake, you all had one large pancake on your plate, and the batter's out, the pan's out, is hot for additional pancakes if you guys wanted. Lucien is sipping on his coffee while he waits to enjoy more of his pancake.
Yeah.
And your mom is forking the right hand knife in the way, perfectly cutting little squares of pancake. And you know that Lucien finds it incredibly irritating that she eats like that. That's just a thing. So he's just looking at her just eat the pancake, that type of thing. And while you're kind of surveying this domestic scene, you see some sort of pink floating kind of flash of light behind your mom's head. It just looks like a little pink. It looks like when a prism casts a rainbow on something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's just a little flash of pink light.
Yeah.
Kind of dancing in the background.
I'm gonna look at where it's coming from or what it is.
Okay. Do you want to roll investigation?
Sure. Gonna cycle through the dice to give me a good freaking roll.
Yeah.
And that's not today. 8.
Okay. You can see that there's a kind of dancing light behind her head, and you can see as it kind of moves around. It looks like if the outside was pink and sunlight was coming through the window and there's trees, it'd give you that sun dappled look. It looks like that, but the light is just pink. There's also yellow light though, so it's kind of distinct.
Okay.
And as it kind of moves around a little bit, it sort of takes the shape of something. A specific shape, not one that would immediately call to your mind anything in particular.
All right. Can I make a insight into what shape it's taking, or it's a perception or something?
I'm trying to decide if that 8. I feel like that 8 is that.
Okay.
But I will let you roll a history check to see if that would occur to you at you're running through your mind to your mind palace looking for pink shapes.
Freaking heck, man. 2.
Nope, you don't. It looks like light. It looks like shapes, like blob or whatever.
Mom, did you get a wind chime recently?
What's that, darling? And
Did you
she's like,
get like a glass thing? You got a lot of light behind you.
no, it was
What? Are you, Mom?
Your mom is talking. Her like face is normal and her mouth is moving, but you don't hear her voice.
Okay.
You just hear some kind of like quiet, like sniffly crying. And Lucien, she like evidently cracks a joke, and Lucien kind of like barks a laugh out, but you can't hear him. You just see him doing that.
Can I look at Lucien and kind of like...
Oh yeah, like indicate to him that something is...
Yeah,
for sure. So like you're just like kind of turning your head and giving him some wide eyes.
Yeah.
He makes no indication that you are making any kind of face.
I'm going to stand up.
Okay,
and
you
kind
say
of
you
like
stand up?
back
Okay.
up a little
As
bit.
you stand up and back up, you hear...
Mom.
and it's like getting louder. And now as you kind of stand up and back up, they like both kind of like look at you and are kind of confused as to what your behavior is. And as this takes place, you can see the edges of that scene kind of get darker,
Okay.
like murky, and it kind of starts like closing in. Is there anything else you want to do or say or anything?
Can I make an insight check to see if I realize that this isn't real?
Yeah.
16.
Okay, it's in that moment that you realize that something is amiss. I'll say that, Tavumile has dreamed before.
Yeah.
So she's kind of maybe putting together that this could just be a nightmare or some sort of vision. Like you're like realizing that this isn't reality, maybe.
Okay.
But as you kind of come to that conclusion, would you try and like wake yourself up or something like that? Like do something about it, or?
I think that I would, honestly, like kind of realizing that, I think that I would try to go touch either Lucien or my mom because of like missing them and being like,
oh, they're going to provide me comfort.
yeah. Like, I've been missing them, and I know that this isn't real, but I'm seeing them right now.
That's so sweet and sad. Okay, cool. So you go to do that.
Mhm.
Okay, so as you run towards because you kind of backed up.
Yeah.
So as you kind of go towards them, you get closer and closer, and the sound gets more kind of upset and urgent. It becomes like a more profound cry than at first it was. Like the closer you get to them.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. 14.
Okay, it gets especially louder as you kind of go more towards your mom, specifically.
Okay.
And you see this pink light behind her head, because the darkness is kind of like dyeing the whole scene black, because it was like, sun dappled bright morning, yada yada. It's kind of dyeing it a darker gray color.
Yeah.
So there's this pink light that's become more pronounced, and you realize that now it has taken on the form of something completely. It's not just like splotches of light, and you can tell that the sound of the crying is coming from this thing
Okay.
that's kind of behind your mom.
What's the shape that it took?
It looks like a creature, some sort of animal,
Okay.
but you've never seen it as predicated before your previous rolls. So you wouldn't know off the dome, oh, that's a that.
Yeah.
It just looks like some sort of, in like video games, they'll have like a freaking spirit and it's just like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It looks like that to you, but it's like animal flavored.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to hug my mom like really tight and kind of stare up at this thing and just like quietly say to my mom, not knowing if she can hear me or anything, just being, it's okay. I don't know what's happening, but it's okay and everything's okay.
So as you go to close your arms around your mom, the moment you get from just like I'm hugging my mom and I can feel like the fabric of her shirt like beneath myself, as you go to squeeze, you hear a popping noise.
Yeah.
And you feel your mom fully dissolve into 1,000 of these little pink lights.
Okay.
These little pink thingies. And you hear like 1,000 Batmans, 1,000 little pink guys, that are all tiny and tiny, softly crying. So it's just like, and they sort of float around you.
Okay.
And as you look up at the thing, before, when it was kind of like just sort of floating behind your mom's head, all of a sudden it is directly in your face, and it's like making full eye contact with you. And as it stares at you, you can feel kind of like the outside of your vision kind of like go into like a pinpoint.
Yeah.
And a single tear falls down its cheeks, and it goes, "Find me."
Where would I find
And then you stay asleep, fully in the dream sequence now. You're like, it's just kind of black in colors, you know, like when you're dreaming, but it's not anything, and you just see like Thomas the Tank Engine, and then like it's completely gone from being a thing that is something to just your brain making fruit salad.
Okay.
And you continue to dream, but nothing of any import. And
jeez, man.
we zoom in on you kind of standing in the middle of this brain fruit salad, and we're gonna zoom out, and as we zoom out past your physical body.
Okay.
And we're once again in the inside of the train carriage. And you are sleeping, and as we kind of zoom out into the train carriage, you do kind of like a and that is the only any kind of anything that Tavumile is doing. You are knocked the heck out.
Jeez, man.
So.
That sucked.
What sucked?
I was having such a good time.
Well,
man.
yeah, that's the point. I'm trying to make you sad. Hopefully it worked. Anyway, so right now, Arliss is in the top half of the suit of armor.
Yep.
And Barbielle, her sister, twin sister,
Yep.
fraternal twin sister?
Identical.
Identical twin sister? Okay. Is in the bottom of the suit of armor, kind of working the legs.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of excellent dwarven engineering that has gone into making this actionable.
Yeah.
So there's like extensions for the arms and stuff, but it looks a little bit like, you know, I'm, you know, like in a video game when you're glitching out a little bit, it looks a little bit like that.
Okay.
So the last thing that happened was Arliss kind of pulled back into the suit of armor to look down at Barbielle and be like, the door is locked in the carriage, and the girl, Tavumile, is asleep, and I can't wake her up.
What do you mean that you can't wake her up?
I tried to wake her up, and I pushed on her, and she didn't wake up. Should I try again, do you think?
Yes.
She's gonna, like, reach... Arliss is gonna kind of, like, reach over. You can see her. All you can see is the lower half of her body, basically. And she's gonna reach over and, like, you can feel that kind of leaning motion, and you can feel her kind of like shaking her. And before you couldn't even tell that she tried to wake her up because she was trying to be so subtle about it. But now you can fully feel it. And she's like, you can hear the armor kind of jangling and stuff.
Yeah.
And Tavumile, there's no sound that gets to you.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she goes back. She's like, she's not waking up, and I'm afraid that if I try harder, the driver will hear me.
What do you think that happened to her? Because I don't understand. She was fine when we put her in here.
I don't know. I mean, they got her drunk or something, so maybe that. But I didn't see anybody like shoot her with a dart or anything.
Shoot her?
Yeah, she like head turns to like give her a once over.
Look, when you said that we were going to do this and we were going to go to the party, you didn't say that anybody was going to get hurt.
I didn't know that this was going to happen. And you can hear, like, legs can hear the coach, like, driver be like rustle a little bit, because right now you're used to hearing the clippy clop of horses.
Yeah.
And you know that he would be able to hear you if you were talking. So you're kind of like, you're like, it sounds as though he like moved a bit.
Okay.
And Arliss is gonna like, wherever you are, she's gonna take her hand out of the suit of armor and just insert her hand into your mouth, and just be like, wait a second. Okay, I think we're good. We have to talk more quietly, okay?
We have to leave. I know that you want to go to the party, but this is turning out to be
Forget
something.
the party. But how do we leave here?
Is the door locked?
Yes, the door is locked. You're not getting the picture, Barbielle. If we are dwarves.
Right.
If we're found out, you heard the guy. If we even talk, they'll kill us.
That is exactly fine.
Okay,
We have
relax,
to
relax. It's okay. And she's like patting you with her little feet to be like, stop. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. But
Look,
I don't see a way that we are getting out of this carriage.
this isn't a dwarven carriage, is it?
No, it would be a high elf carriage.
Well, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but high elf carriages, they don't very well made, honestly.
Listen, you're not understanding, Barbielle. I know
I'm
that
understanding, Arliss.
this is the first time that you have been really out in the world. It's also the first time that Arliss has been out. But listen to your sister, okay? I'm a little bit older than you, and I have a little more experience.
You're only older by 5 minutes.
Exactly. It's 5 minutes makes all the difference. Listen, if we break out of the carriage now and anyone sees us go, they're going to capture us. If they find out that we are dwarves, it could... You can see... Roll a perception check.
Okay.
Maybe you can't see.
3.
Arliss is doing a bang-up job at seeming like she's not regretting anything.
Okay.
Shay can tell, even though Barbielle can't,
Yeah.
that Arliss is doing a absolutely splendid job of being like, this is all above board, and this is just a little misstep, and I don't regret. This was still the right course of action.
Yeah.
If they see that we are dwarves, that could cause another war. The treaty. I mean, what are we doing in a royal knight's armor? And she's like gonna cover your mouth again, even though she was the one who was talking.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's gonna be like, shh.
We weren't walking.
Okay, it's fine.
Arliss, we have to get out of here. We have... Look, what if I just busted the door open and then we run into the forest and then we just ditch our armor?
In a huge suit of armor? How are we going? Listen, this is unrealistic.
What do you suggest?
She's like, oh, what do I suggest? Listen, we could try to break out of the carriage. You hear like crank as her neck moves. But what about the girl?
We take her with us. She was very nice to us.
There is no way. Listen, we are in the middle of town. We are not going to be able to... I'm being realistic about this. We are not going to be able to escape from the carriage with the girl, with nobody coming after us.
But I don't want anything bad to happen to her.
Well, I have it. Well, if we go with her, right? Presumably we are going somewhere, right? There is between here and wherever they are going to, they will have to stop somewhere, right?
I guess so.
We could get out then with the girl and take her with us then.
Okay.
Does that sound like a good idea, do you think?
I think that it is the only option.
I think so too. Well, have you ever killed a man before? That's where we're gonna end that. I will say, in case there's anything, I'm joking about that, in case there's anything that you want to, just so Barbielle has the best information that would be available to her.
Yeah.
The only thing, well, you know what, roll a perception check.
Okay.
We'll see if you could create this information with your brain.
I'm rolling like crap today.
Do.
4.
Yep, nope. Nothing else occurs to Barbielle as you are kind of like, okay, I guess we're going to do this plan.
Okay.
So as you kind of like, Arliss like looks at you, down at you, and kind of like nods, and it's just like, okay, we're going to do this.
I have like tears in my eyes. I'm like, okay, we are going to do this.
She's gonna reach down and indicate to you with her body that she is going for your secret handshake.
Okay.
So you do like an extremely complex dwarven secret handshake from under over in a suit of armor.
Yeah.
And it's just like clink, clink, clink. It's worth it, even if they, this is suspect to them that we do the secret handshake. We need it.
We need it.
So Arliss is gonna like put her head back into the suit of armor and kind of stare out the front of it, kind of like one eye on the driver, one eye on Tavumile, and one eye, the third eye, wide open out the window of the carriage as she's kind of like surveying the whole kind of experience to see like, is there any moment that we could capitalize on or something. And the camera is going to, as you sit in this kind of carriage, bumping up and down, Arliss is kind of like, I have become in charge of 2 young girls' lives extremely quickly. Also, I am a young girl. And you just kind of bump along, moving towards the city gate, which which Arliss knows and has relayed to you because that's the way you came in. Arliss is going to kind of just like, as she surveys the scene, because she's the lookout, Barbielle, you have lots of thinking time.
Yeah.
Since you're in the downstairs where it's dark. And as you get to thinking, you remember the events that got you into this wacky mess in the first place. You remember getting drunk. It was mostly Arliss who got drunk. You were kind of just there too. You were drinking, but Arliss, for a dwarf, has a pretty lame tolerance.
Yeah.
And she's really like self-conscious about it, and so she's like, I can drink all this bottomless mimosas in the world.
Arliss, you know that you can't, and it's all right that you can't.
Be quiet. No, listen, this is a secret. She's like, mouth, like, grabbed your face, like, secret between us, okay? You've got to make me look good. And she, like, mushes your face. And you remember the fight with the guy, him banning you.
Yeah.
Arliss standing up in the middle of the bar to be like, well, we're going on my dwarven honor, we will break into the bar. And you had a reaction to that.
Yeah.
How did you feel when she said that, as Barbielle, her sister?
Her sister. I think that, honestly, Barbielle felt a little piece of her soul die.
She's like, okay.
Barbielle does not want to go on shenanigans or hijinks, but she loves her sister so much.
Arliss is Fred, and Barbielle is Shaggy and Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Fred's like, come on, gang, let's go find the ghoul. And you guys are like, I'm like, zoinks.
Yeah.
So, okay, you remember that fight. You remember, Barbielle being like, oh, no, what are we doing? You remember seeing these knights and getting some sort of general intel, because the moment Arliss saw them, she was just like, what a disguise, that would be great, no one would be able to tell who we were. We're ingenuity equipped enough to make this work. And she kind of like, you're having like just a sort of a montage of flashbacks to the whole thing, and she's like, grabs your frickin' braid, which you have. Do you have braid?
Yeah.
Great. And she's like, come with me. And you're like, you're running after her down the streets, and everyone's like, friggin' dwarves. That's fun. And you like, you see them all going into a barracks, and then the next image you have is of just suits of armor stacked up along the thing. Like you were able to get somehow into the barracks. There was a story Arliss told about fixing a knee joint in the armor, and they were specially called in and used her sort of dwarven wiles and all of that nature. The point is you were able to get into where these suits of armor are kept in the barracks. Mm-hmm. The next thing you have in your brain is you and Arliss sort of unsteadily taking a few steps out of the door of the armory.
2 kids in a trench coat.
Exactly,
style.
it's a full 2 kids in a trench coat sneaking into a movie style. And, her being like, you need to be more steady, okay?
Look, you're very heavy, and
I'm not that heavy. We carry stones and stuff all day.
Yes, but you're not helping with
Your
your
battle
balance.
axe weighs more than I do. And she's like, shoves her hand into your mouth, even though she was the one who's talking. And she's gonna, like clink her upper body and, like, kick you into, like, get... compose yourself in some type of way. And presumably you hear like people had been kind of coming around the corner, starting to walk by. And as you leave the barracks, you can kind of see to an extent, like every kind of other step you take, there's a little baby crack in between like the groin thingy and the like that you could kind of peek out of, so you can generally tell where you're going without Arliss needing to like appropriately kick you to get you in the right way. And you can see, well, actually roll a perception.
Okay. We already know it's gonna be failure.
It's gonna be awesome.
Nat 1.
Really? Okay, cool. So, the thing shuts at just the wrong time that you fully can't see. And it was kind of like when it had opened the last time, you know that you had just walked outside of the barracks, and the reason you know that is because there was a flash of blinding sunlight. Yeah. And you're just like, oh, my friggin' eyeballs. And you're like, I'm trying to see. You have, I think, friggin' dark vision or something. Do dwarves have dark vision? Is that true?
Yeah.
Where do you even see that? What the heck?
Under Durgard traits. Durgard traits.
You have good dark vision, but you don't... Is the dark vision, or is it superior dark vision that makes it...
No, it's just good dark vision.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so... but nevertheless, the flash of light is such that you're like, for a second, because you weren't expecting it. And when that kind of happens, and you're kind of like blinking a whole bunch of times to get your life together, Arliss is going to be like, psst, I just saw someone. I saw, we have to go this way. Come on, run. And she's like egging you on. And then you're like, start, do you run or what do you do?
Yeah, I think I'll be as much of I can run as I can with somebody standing on my shoulders.
She's trying to swing her arms in the correct cadence. And it is the loudest sound as you guys freaking booking it. And then all of a sudden, you're running, you're going to freaking absolutely slam into something. Like next level slam. Yeah. Just cacophonously loud. And Arliss is even going to be like, jeez. She's going to be like, well, that was a little bit much, you know.
I don't know where I'm going.
Shh, listen. And she's gonna like look around and then unhead herself in the armor and like look down at you.
What are we
she's gonna
doing?
be like, there are these 2 guys in cloaks, and there's this other little like spooky man, and they're walking around the corner. I want to see what's going on. Maybe some sort of secret society or something.
Guys in cloaks and a spooky man.
Yeah, we've got to go see what's going on.
I don't want to see the spooky man.
Oh, don't be a baby. Baby L.
I thought that you said that you would stop calling me that.
Well, listen, I only call you it when you're not being a baby. She's still a little bit tipsy. She's like sobered up enough to be the thing, and now she's just like, but what if we went and saw? Come on, look, we'll be really, really sneaky.
Fine.
Okay? It will be fine. Since you are technically now in heavy armor, we get a disadvantage to sneak checks. We will, since we're both rolling, because it'd be one for me, one for you. We'll go with whichever number had the lower one,
Okay.
and that's how we'll do disadvantage.
I love quadruple disadvantage.
Yeah, well, no, it'll be just you and I are gonna roll. You know what I mean?
I
So
see,
like,
okay.
it's like we're rolling once, but I think that that's fun, and I'm in charge. So she's just like, okay, so now you just got to play it cool, and we'll be nice and sneaky, as like your little foot like slams into the ground. She's like, oh, okay, fine, just follow my
don't
lead.
know how to be any more quieter.
Just sink like a ballerina.
Like a ballerina.
Okay, let's go. And she's like, let's roll for stealth, baby.
12.
That was pretty good. I got a 9. Do you have a stealth mod?
Mm-hmm.
What's yours?
+1.
Okay, we'll go with mine +0. We got a 9. So
Yeah.
like you guys are doing for 2 dwarves in a suit of armor. You're doing a serviceable job at moving in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And as you're kind of walking down wherever you're going, kind of tiptoeing, you can see it was light, and then when you slammed into the thing, it was kind of dark. And you were quiet for a minute, presumably because Arliss is trying to be like, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like the light is getting a little bit more dim,
Yeah.
as presumably you are walking in the direction of this alleyway. And you're kind of like going around the corner, and as you go around the corner, it gets a little bit darker. You can see as you kind of take these steps. Roll another perception check to see if you can see anything.
5.
Okay, you see nothing. You are fully beholden to Arliss's whatever. And she's going to kind of like manipulate you with her feet so that you move them back against a wall.
Okay.
And as you kind of do that, because the sounds of you trying to be quiet is gone away, the like general movement and armor sound, you can hear people talking for the first time.
Okay.
And you hear, as you're kind of back there, a voice go, well, it looks like we have some company. And then there's like a moment and you hear another voice go, they work for the Uwethwei family. They've taken an oath of silence. Don't worry, they're probably just wondering what it is we are doing with you. And you hear the voice go, well, oh my days, what an absolutely magnificent disguise. I had no idea. So that's the relation to the lad, eh? Well, it's all coming together for old Gangrene. Please, we do not have much time. We have other duties to attend to. Now, are you sure that he is here? Of course I am, ma'am. In fact, he just went off with his trainer. His trainer? Yes, his trainer, a lad called Fingers.
Oh, no.
And you hear complete silence. You hear like a chuckle from one of the voices.
Yeah.
It's like, either way, he's certain to be back once the ball is finished. I can have him all ready for you to go with you. Spooky laugh. You hear a voice go, are you sure you will be able to detain him? He is quite crafty. After all, and you hear like another laugh like bubble up from this. Listen, ma'am, at the risk of sounding, culturally insensitive, if I had to, ask the guild for some help in rounding up a tiefling, I don't think that there's anyone who would even listen. Look at this. Even you could hear him kind of stumbling forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Even Fingers himself is a tiefling. And he, the big guy had to black his eye in order to get him to, okay, we get the point. Well, you will know where to find us. Keep us posted. Will do. Thanks so much for doing business with me.
Oh, no.
And you hear a very familiar to you sound.
Okay.
Which is the sound of many, many gold coins clinking together in a bag as they land heavily in somebody's hands.
Yeah.
Presumably Gangrene's hands. You know that they're gold coins because you're dwarves. And you know what metal sounds like. You hear little footsteps of someone just like he's like reaching in and like clinking the coins together. He walks past you, and you hear these two other sets of footsteps walk out of wherever it is that they are, and they stop right next to you and turn to look at you and go, "You don't have to worry so much. Go back to your duties."
I think that Barbielle makes her starts walking away.
So, okay, this is what's gonna happen. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
We've rolled that. As you know, you can tell that they haven't like fully turned. Like they're waiting for maybe you to like go to attention. They're waiting for you to indicate using respect that you've heard them.
Yeah.
So instead, what happens is Arliss is facing them. You turn the legs around and just walk away. And Arliss, you can tell she did something with her arm, and as you kind of walk away, you look up and see that she gave them a thumbs up. So she fully just gave him a thumbs up, and then the legs turned around and just started walking away. And so now, that is the sort of end of that little moment, because that was really the last thing of note that happened to y'all before
Any of this?
before sneaking into Lady Gwynth's house to be like, they're probably going to the ball, and then any other events. Is there anything you want to say to Arliss as you guys walk away from that?
Oh, from that thing?
Yeah.
Arliss, everything in this town seems rather scary.
Yeah, that was really sus. Anyway, let us fully not get involved in whatever that was.
I agree.
Okay.
For the first time, I agree.
Yes, I'm learning a lot from you and your sort of discretion. Anyway, let's go pretend to be silent knights, take of our silence in the lady's house, and then we go to the ball.
Yes, please.
Great! And you guys are gonna like hasten off to go find an unsuspecting noble woman. So the camera is going to pan away from Barbielle as she sits in the legs of the suit of armor, just kind of mulling over all of the events that led her to this moment.
Yeah.
Does she give me like a good like one-liner, like a good like Barbielle slogan?
I think I'm going to throw up.
That's your thing that you say now. Barbielle's got a dangerous tummy. And when you say that, Arliss hears you and doesn't do anything because she's so used to hearing you say that. So as you say that, the camera is going to pan away from you. It's going to fly through the waypoint town on the wings of a bird. Fully, like, everyone who is outside is all heading towards a central direction. And you know that you... Shay, because you're not anyone right now during the camera movement, know that must be the ball.
Okay.
Nobody else who is outside is doing anything other than going to the ball.
Okay.
Or general, like, the post office isn't delivering anymore. They finished all of the stuff. It's night anyway. And then anybody else who's like kind of cops, like directing traffic, it's all about keeping the peace so that this can go off.
Okay.
Because the frickin' king's there, and
Yeah.
that's a big deal. We are flying through the air into boop. We fly through the kind of like top of the liquor store and poof into the inside of it, as Lucien, Thalen, Fingers, and Ethiod are all getting ready. We all got a short rest.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yay! So you can roll some frickin' dice.
Hit die.
Some sweet, sweet hit die.
Do you want to know what number I got for this hit die? Oh, wait.
Is
Never
it a
mind.
1?
This is a D12. That's not a D8. So I did get a 1, but it's a D12. So I'm safe. Is this a D8? Yes.
I'm the worst at numbers.
Knowing what dice are
Yeah,
what.
I really never know.
I got a 1 again.
Really?
Ah.
Oh, if it's any consolation, I also got a 1.
All of us really can't get it together.
We're going through it. Yeah. So the way that this is all going down, as everybody's packing up, everybody's about to bounce. So the first thing I want to just say is that, Lucien, as per hit die, because that is interpreted as like the bandaging of wounds. Yeah. That is all obscured strategically, and the only thing that can't be obscured is the broken nose and 2 black eyes.
Yeah.
Which he is wearing a masquerade mask, which is going to be really fun for us to come up with a reason why. He has a level of exhaustion, just for your
information.
Reference. So he doesn't have like scads of HP, and he also has a level of exhaustion. So like you could and like low on spells.
Okay.
So he's like not necessarily combat ready at this moment. But if you got into something, it would be about like making sure he doesn't die to an extent, just so you aren't surprised if you're like, yeah, let's charge into combat, and then he dies, which would not be great. So Fingers is wearing like the suit and everything, looking sharp. He had a black eye, so that needs to be addressed, and we're gonna address that right now. So Fingers is like, as we're all getting ready to go, Fingers like turns his head towards one of the non-broken mirrors, and all of a sudden goes, "Hey gang, I have a black eye."
Right.
I got a deal. Dalen, do you have an eye patch?
Wait, what? We are not going to look like... That's going to make you look so suspicious.
He's wearing like a freaking
look,
mask.
I have a... Ethiot has a disguise kit.
Oh, okay.
So I think that he could like rifle through it a bit. I don't know, maybe this is your color. I have some paint here to kind of change skin cut makeup.
Do you have one that would work for Lucien? Let's roll for it. We'll do a luck check. We'll say because it's light blue, and why would you necessarily have... Well, I guess to disguise yourself as somebody else. So we'll say it's like 1 through 5. You have it.
Okay. 2.
Wow, so you have Lucien's color.
Oh, 1 through 5 we have the...
You have the color. Yeah, so...
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so you could... Lucien's gonna look like he had an allergic reaction to something, because he's all, like, swollen and stuff.
Would you look at that? Lucien, I think that this is something that...
Why didn't you mention this before? I have to look like an idiot for, and he's gonna, like, rip the mask off and throw it, and Thalen's gonna be like, like, try and catch it out of the air. And so he's gonna like, Fingers is like standing there to like, they're kind of just around you. So you can do it, or you can have them do it to themselves or whatever.
Look, I'm probably better at this than you two are.
Who do you want to go first?
I think I'll do Fingers first.
Okay.
Because I'm like connected.
Roll what would like art be?
Performance maybe?
Oh, we'll do performance. Roll for... Who's you doing first? I forgot.
Fingers.
Okay, cool.
17.
Okay, Fingers looks great. Fingers looks fine. You can't even tell.
Alright, I think that I am done. I don't know, the shade is just a little bit off, but I think that it is passable.
He's gonna like look back in the window and kind of be like, wow, I can't see anything. And he's just gonna be like, yeah, man, I think it looks good. What do you guys think? And like Lucien has the bottle of paint kind of open, like in his hands, and he's like rubbing it, trying to like make it like and like fully failing, and is not paying at all attention. And he's like, I think it's perfect. Would you look at that?
Right. Lucien, you're not going to get it. It took me a lot of practice to be able to be good at this.
Was it just, arts and crafts? It should be easy. And he's, like, got it, like, all over the place.
You look like an absolute mess. Please let me take care of this.
Fine. And he's gonna, like, ouch, like, get down to the ground.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of do, like, when you're doing someone's makeup and they've never had their makeup done before, and they just like stare at you like deep into your soul.
Can you maybe like close your eyes or something? This is very uncomfortable.
What are you talking about?
You're
about to put freaking paint in my eyeball area.
I'm not going to put it in your eye, so you don't need to have them open. I don't want you looking at me. This is weird.
He's gonna like angrily shut his eyes and be like, stupid.
Do you want me to roll performance?
Yeah, roll that performance check. You see them shaking them dice.
9.
Alright, you are having trouble fixing Lucian's art project. You are like trying to, it's like, you know, like when you curl a piece of hair and you don't do it good, and then you try and curl it again and it's like done with you. Yeah, that's like what's, he already, you would have to fully take it off, start over, even then, like the oils.
Yeah.
And so he kind of looks like he has like a rare disease.
Look, we'll just play it off like you have, I don't know, some kind of skin condition. You've made the palette really hard to work with.
Well, you know, something just occurred to me.
What?
They tried to kill me,
Right.
and I'm alive. That might pose a problem.
You are supposed to be dead. Would they, I guess we wouldn't really know if they were going to be at this party or not.
Well, I would imagine, you know, if anything got back to anyone, there's a bunch of bloody high elves. Got the stupid hive mind. Maybe, can you make me look like someone else? Or maybe I should
got,
just
like,
wear...
mustaches and the wig. Maybe like some... I can make your nose look... I mean, your nose looks different anyways.
Well, I mean, I could wear the mask, or you could do, you know, put some other kind of colour on me, or something.
Let me see what I can do.
If you try to, like, mustache him up, you're gonna have to do a absolutely bang-up job to make people be like, this guy isn't a winter Eldrin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to change the color of the paint or something, that's gonna be a harder roll.
Okay.
Because you have to work with what has happened,
Yeah.
pretty much. And then the masquerade mask is, you don't have to roll for that. They could just put it on, but you will have to spend the entire night justifying why he won't take it off.
Okay.
So you can take your pick.
I think that we will try the skin color change thing.
Okay, if that doesn't work, you can also have him wear the mask, but then it's gonna be like...
That's the plan.
What are you? Okay, yeah, go for it.
12.
Okay. He looks like he looks like he has some sort of rare disease.
Okay.
So he has gone from looking like a winter Eladrin with a broken nose who maybe was killed almost earlier today to some sort of something with some sort of debilitating illness.
Look, maybe we could make this work. I mean, like...
How?
We could just say that you have leprosy or something.
Well, you know, he doesn't look like a winter Eladrin anymore,
Yeah.
so that should be fine.
I think that was the goal, so I think that we met the goal.
Okay, well, I look stupid. He's like laughing at how he turned out. Okay, well, so Fingers is fine. Fingers looks like Fingers normal, like Fingers Prime.
Yeah.
And Lucien looks like you've painted leprosy on him. But also he doesn't look like any, it's very ambiguous what race he is too. So as long as you can play that off, then
we would just say that you're a mix of 3 different races. And then nobody would question it.
Okay, I'm really gonna have to keep that story straight. This is not in my wheelhouse. He's like gonna like stand up with the couch and stuff. And then Thalen, who's like been ready while y'all play finger paints, goes, oh my goodness, I've just remembered something, and friggin' disappears into his father's room.
Look, we're going to leave without
Hold
you.
on, and you hear like just like destruction as he's
Yeah.
like going through stuff. He's like, you already, you know, thieved the place up, so it's already a wreck. Just give me a moment. I don't have to blah, blah. And he's like looking for something. He's like, I found it. Oh, would you look at that? This is my lucky day. And let me roll something real quick. As he kind of comes out of the room, he is now He looks the same. Like he's not holding anything. He has one hand behind his back. In the other hand, he's not holding anything.
Okay.
The only thing that you have noticed, and I'm not going to make you roll for it because it is so evident, is just the sharpest pocket square. Just so sharp. Like, something about it is just, like, imbuing him with this aura of class and, like, sophistication. And, like, you can see Fingers is kind of, like, looking at him differently.
Yeah.
Just like, maybe this guy is maybe cool, even.
Is
maybe
that what you went in there for?
Yes, isn't it brilliant? I know, listen, if Galen sees that I have it, he'll certainly have something to say for it, but I think could use the boost. And it is a pocket square of, what is it? This is a homebrewed item. Give me 1 second. A pocket square of alluring charisma.
Oh my god!
It will give him a +2 to all charisma rolls. All we have to do is, as long as Galen doesn't see that I have it, no one else is going to notice, okay? And what's more, I found something else. And this is the real treat. And he's going to pull out from behind his back a bottle that is bright red, kind of like fancy schmancy glass bottle with a cork in it. And you all know without having to do anything, especially Lucien, that it is a potion of greater healing. He's gonna like kind of like in one hand do a little bing 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 like splashing around in there, and he's like, and I think actually we could use it now, for our friend here. And Lucien is gonna kind of like be like looking up at him, Thalen, like, holds it out to him in his hand, like, dangling back and forth, looking extremely proud of himself. And Lucien is, like, bepainted and stuff like that. He's like, okay, now we're ready to go. And he's gonna kind of turn and be like, you must be joking. And he's gonna, like...
What do you mean?
He's like, fully not even, like, acknowledging that anything is going on. And Thalen's like, wait, what? And he's just gonna start trying to, like, look at how you guys are gonna be exiting the liquor store, like window,
Lucien,
door.
why don't you want to drink this potion? You are honestly quite fucked up.
Look, I'll go into the guy's house. I guess I'll wear clothes. I mean, that's a stretch, but if you think I'm consuming anything a bloody high elf is giving me, you're even stupider than I thought you were. And he's gonna like start like trying to keep figuring out. He's like looking at the locks.
Look, what
and
if
stuff.
I take like a swig from it first to prove that it's not poison or something?
Yeah, I'm happy for you to do that. You can drink the whole thing for all I care. And
look, do you care about Tavumile? What if you don't make it there?
yeah, what if I don't make it there? Because he like turns around and like gets all mad at you, and he's just like, what if I don't make it there because I die because I was bloody poisoned by a bloody high
What if you don't make it there because you die because you refuse to take care of
Thalen
yourself?
is gonna like put his hand up to be like, I've got this. I have the pocket square of learning charisma. And he's gonna take a step forward and be like, what do you think I'm going to do? Hurt you? And Lucien is like, I'm not gonna give you that opportunity. And he like takes another step forward, Thalen, and goes, Lucien. And Lucien is like, like when your mom is mad and then she says your name and you're like, yeah? What is it? He's gonna like he was all like ouchy hunched, and now he's gonna like stand up to his big tall height and be like, yeah, what is it? And Thalen's gonna like rapidly rethink his time. And just be like, look, Lucien, if I wanted to hurt you in that state, it wouldn't even be hard. And when he says that, Lucien is far away from him, and he is going to break the rules of reality to appear in front of him and grab the front of his shirt. And he's going to, like, ball it up in his hands, and he's gonna he gets really close to him, gets in his face. He like pulls him up because, as we've established, Thalen is like 5'7".
Mm-hmm.
Pull him up to his face and be like, "You want to test that theory, Nancy boy?" And Thalen is gonna be like, "Well, I don't understand." He's like, they're just kind of going back and forth, like talking to each other, and Lucien's like got a fist up and stuff.
Look, this is what I have to say about this. Lucien, you're being incredibly stupid right now. On it, like, incredibly stupid. We are in his house currently, wearing the clothes, and we are going to be escorted by this man. He could just rat you out. You think that he's going to wait until we get to the ball to, like...
You are I know you're talking normal volume. You are having to say this at a reasonably high volume.
Yeah.
Over them, like, pissing at each other. Yeah. You can roll persuasion.
Okay.
And I will oppose it. What'd you get?
8.
He got a 17. Lucian's gonna deck Thalen.
Look, I can't fix another black eye.
As you, like, do that, yeah, he's gonna friggin' drop the D4. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna roll to hit, because, we'll say that he's grappled, so he gets advantage, but he could still miss, because I'll say, because he has, okay, jeez. Because he has a level of exhaustion, he's gonna have to roll this to hit with disadvantage.
Yeah.
But he's grappling him, so I'm gonna say he's gonna roll it straight, so he could still miss.
Yeah.
He freaking whiffs so hard. He got a 3. So, like, as he's, like, holding him, he's, like, listening to you, but he has so much pissed off, like, just not even just this interaction, just the whole situation, that he's gonna, like, pull his hand back to hit him. And, like, Thalen is literally not even yelling back any words. All he's doing is trying to, like, not get hit.
Yeah.
And so when Lucien goes to deck him, he just, like, whoo, out of the way. And we'll say, because that roll was so bad, as he does that, he, like, rips his shirt free from the thing. And Lucian's just gonna be like, just leave it, okay?
Look,
Keep
this
it for
is what's
yourself.
going to happen. I'm going to take this with us. And then if you're on death's door, you're going to take it whether or not you want to. Because, what? You're gonna die either way. Right? If this is true, that it's poisoned. So this is coming with us. And we are leaving now.
Fine! And he's like, he's gonna, like, find any way to escape this building, and he's gonna open it.
Yeah.
Did you all have any, like, we'll say that you had established something before. Did you guys have any specific way that you were fixing to leave here? Because you got a broken window, a window, and a door.
Well, the door, I remember freaking Thalen saying he didn't have the keys.
Yeah.
So we weren't going to go through the door. I guess we could just crawl back out the window, honestly.
Okay, presumably the non-broken
Yeah.
window. Okay, cool. So, he's gonna, like, it open. You can hear, like, the above pane, like, get upset about it. And he's just gonna, like, start kind of gingerly getting himself out the window. Fingers is gonna be like, he was kind of like the whole time that argument was going on, because he was just like, I'm not equipped to deal with this situation. He's just kind of like doing like a hands out back and forth, like ready to jump in, but also like, Ethiod's got this question mark, like the whole just like.
I think that Ethiod like sidles up next to Fingers and be like, man, I really thought that it was going to be you two that were going to fight.
What are you talking about, man? And, like, at this point, everyone's, like, kind of making their way out the window.
Yeah.
Thalen is, like, rebuttoning his deal, and is, like, looking in one of the panes of glass.
Well, isn't it a thing that when, like, people like to, like, when two people like the same person, they have, like, a fight or whatever?
All right, buddy, let me hold on that thought. And he's gonna, like, put you in a headlock and just start, like, walking with you towards the window.
But
Be like, look, pal, I get it. You're, like, 12 years old. You're, like,
I'm
13 years
16.
old. Yeah, it's like what I said. Not everybody who likes someone likes him, okay? Not like that.
What do you mean?
Look, I like Tavumile, but, like, I don't like her. I like her. I don't even know if we're friends. I just think, I think this is, like, the right thing to do. As he's saying this, he's, like, picking you up like a baby and is, like, sitting you facing him on the windowsill. And Thalen, you can see Thalen behind him with his head turned and, like, an anime question mark. He's like, this is when we're doing this, is right now.
I'm gonna look down at Fingers and be like, wait, but I thought that guys and girls cannot be friends because they would have to love each other.
You can hear Lucian's eyes roll as he comes down onto the ground.
When I was in my clan, the Odaza clan, the guys were not allowed to talk to the girls because it was only we had to marry them if we wanted to talk to them.
The moment you say that, you hear Lucian's head turn towards you.
I think that Ethia lifts his head, eyes wide, and be like,
Fingers was so unprepared for you to say that when you said it, his face didn't even move. It's just paused.
I think I make eye contact with Fingers, as in have a look of face of going, I fucked up.
And as you say that, Lucien is gonna kind of turn around and to face you with his full body. And Fingers is gonna kind of just move his eyes to Lucien, and he's gonna raise an eyebrow to be like, just him though. Just him. But he doesn't say that. He's just kind of what?
Yeah.
And Lucian's gonna be like, oh, that's a clan, huh?
No.
Human, I had thought we had established.
I was adopted. And then I left because I wasn't.
I was wondering what was going on with the voice.
I was.
I've never met tiefling before.
I'm not the tiefling.
Yeah.
I'm so not the tiefling.
Thalen's gonna walk over and
get away from me.
Really?
I think he kind of puts up a defense, arms kind of up, and he's like,
Fingers is gonna let go of you when you do that, and so now you're full Humpty Dumpty. You're core strength.
Fingers sticks his fingers. Ethiad sticks his feet out to be a blockade.
Oh yeah, he's I'm not. Nothing's happening, and Thalen's gonna be like, "What is it? What's going on?"
Nothing's going on.
Oh, he heard you say that. Yeah.
Nothing's happening. You guys misheard me. Everything is fine.
They misheard you about what? Something about girls or something?
Yeah.
And then Lucien is gonna give him an eyebrow raise and be like, "He's a tiefling."
I'm not a tiefling.
Thalen is going to look at you and be like, "Yes, I know. What does that have to do with anything?"
I'm not a tiefling. What are you talking about?
Oh, please, with that voice.
Fingers, you said that nobody would know.
That's no. First of all, that's not what I said. Okay?
You said that nobody knows what anyone from the Odaza clan sounds like.
He was just yeah. First of all, probably they don't. Okay. Second of all, this is what I said to you. Okay, you remember peanut butter and. We didn't need that. I thought we were chilling. He's gonna look at Thalen why are you fine with this? And Thalen's gonna be like, peanut butter, what are you talking about? It's a Thieves Guild thing. Okay? It's a Thieves Guild thing. Anyway, the point is this. He might be semi-related to those guys. Okay? We don't have to say what they are, but just, you don't gotta...
Are you gonna make me be alone in this?
Yes, I am. They're freaking Lucien and Thalen. I will roll their checks to see if they put 2 and 2 together. He rolled with disadvantage a 24.
Holy crap, dude.
And then I have to roll your boy. Okay, Thalen got a 7, so okay. He's so Thalen is not. He's just whatever. Yeah, I mean, Lucian's gonna kind of give Fingers the awkward eye, and he's gonna be like, oh, so the thing with the stuff, the stuff I gave you, that's why. And Fingers is no. Anyway. The point is, it doesn't matter. Clock's ticking, and he's gonna look over, and there's a strategically placed piece of glass, and he can see the friggin' sundial in the middle of town. He's gonna be like, the clock's ticking. I don't know. The sundials work when it's dark out. The clock's ticking. I don't know what a clock is, so how could it be ticking? So we can go now, right? And Thaden's like, yes, the only one making anything out of this is you, and Fingers is gonna be like. What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, it was evident from the beginning. I mean, I'm just surprised Mr. Soldier over here didn't notice. And Lucian's gonna be like, don't you freaking start with me again.
Was Mr. Soldier going to do anything?
Mr. Soldier, hi, it's me. Went to war with the bloody dwarves and the bloody high elves. Anytime I saw a tiefling, it was dead and better for it. Can we get a move on? And Thalen's gonna be like, listen, don't worry. I'm not, unlike some people, I am able to understand that prejudice is based typically on, some confirmation bias, and that it's not the way to be. He's like trying to figure out how to get out of the window in a fashionable and masculine way. You're failing, and you're just like, you're still Humpty Dumpty mode.
Yeah. I don't understand why. I was born this way, but I didn't ask for it. But I'm not there anymore.
Yeah. So
why would it be better if I was dead? It doesn't matter. And then he like
oh, like you really like
internalized
internalized solution. Oh, that's so good. Thalen is gonna like look at Fingers, and Fingers is gonna give him like a wry smile and be like, he's got a lot to learn about the world. And Fingers is going to take Thalen and like put him under his arm like a surfboard and just jump out the window. And he's still a little bit swifty. He's a little drunk. So we're gonna find out if he lands this cool jump. He does not. He hits the ground and his legs are jelly, and he uses Thalen to break his fall. He like puts Thalen down first, and he's just like, oh geez, well, yeah, and Thalen's like, what on earth are you doing? The outfit, and Fingers is gonna be like, oh sorry, that was not the game plan. Gosh, I guess I really am a little bit, goofy still, ha ha. And he's gonna like get up to his feet and kind of like dust, like in TV shows when you like the other guy adjusts the bow tie of the guy he just knocked over, and he gives him a little dust. And you look at Fingers, and he's like full covered in like dirt and stuff. And
look,
he's like,
if we show up covered like in mud and dirt and stuff, they're not going to let us in. Please try to at least keep yourself looking a little bit presentable.
Oh, sorry, man. I was not part of the game plan about that. And he's gonna like conga line Thalen this time, as Thalen kind of like just starts walking.
Yeah. And
Thalen is sort of with his body communicating to him and the world like, under no circumstances are we walking to the bowl like this. We're going to have to come up with something else. So he's like, I know that if maybe I don't do this, you might fall over.
Yeah.
So this is what's going on. So you guys are you trying to be stealthy?
I think that we need to be confident. We need to act like nothing is amiss, and that we belong here, and that everything is fine.
Confident. Okay, so what's this? You guys are like fully like getting ready.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll to see if this is a bad time to have this conversation for you. It is. So like you're like kind of coming out of the side of the building, and as you walk, just kind of start like walking in from the side of the building to the front of it.
Yeah.
Lucien, who is doing his best to do a very good uninjured man impression, and so he's like walking a little bit too straight, like a little bit too perfect. Fingers, who has both hands on Thalen's shoulders and is kind of like doing like a life's a dream, like happy sway walk, and you, the only normal one, are coming around the corner, and just when that happens, you see a Bolstopper kind of walking past this situation.
I think what I'm gonna say is, good evening, officer.
Everyone in like chorus behind you in their respective voices, which I will not do at the same time, also say good evening.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see if the cop realizes that anything is He rolled a 2. He's gonna like give you like a nod. He's like twirling his baton, and he's like, "Evening, lads," and he's just gonna keep kind of like walking in that direction.
See, confidence is what this is all about.
Confidence.
I think that Ethion's going to like lead the gang.
Okay, got it. While Ethion is doing that, Thalen like walks a little too fast out of Fingers' like 2 hands, and so now it basically just looks like Fingers is a little bit unsteady.
Yeah.
So like you could pass that off as he's drunk. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Lucien looks like a computer generated character. Like he's walking like, I am fine and I'm going to look fine, like that type of way. And then you and Thalen are looking sharp. Thalen looks extra sharp because he's so charismatic.
Yeah.
For in terms of like weapons, equipment that you could have had with you, get mad at me about this. They are, we could do it one of 2 ways. I'm going to let you decide because I don't really care. Because it's going to mean whatever either way. They could either be, like, have these possessions with them somewhere, which means if they are found with them, like, for example, they could have them in, like, some sort of briefcase that Galen had many of because he's a fancy guy or something like that. It could be under their clothes. I don't really care, however you want to have this worked out. But if they are found with them 100%, someone will be like, oh, you're not supposed to be here, or they'll, whatever. I mean, you and Fingers were kind of not supposed to be there, but also supposed to be there anyway.
Yeah.
Thalen just has his clothes, and then Lucien had on what he was wearing, which was, he had on light armor. So that would be imminently hideable under his clothes. Or you can fully like go in there raw, and if someone, there would be no way that anyone would be able to tell from your appearance that something was amiss. But if your equips or whatever are discovered, like because you would have left them at the liquor store, you may not get them back. Okay. So you can pick which one you wanted to do.
I think I'm wearing, because I also am wearing light armor. I think I'm wearing it under my clothes.
Okay.
And I have daggers and darts, so I think for me specifically, those are easy to hide. So I think I take those with me.
Okay. Cool. Fingers has a dagger and a short bow, so I'm gonna say that he left the short bow, but he has the dagger. And then Lucien had a crossbow, as we mentioned. Lucien left the crossbow because it's not happening. Thalen didn't have anything weapon-wise, so he's not bringing anything. So that's that on that. Bada bing. So so you're kind of making your way towards the ball in a big group. You are like hidden in plain sight kind of thing. Like, oh, if they were doing something nefarious, why would they be out in the open? And the idea that you would have someone who is already a little bit drunk going to the ball is not amiss. And people are going generally in that direction anyway, and they look nice. So it's like there's so many people that you could have a conversation about stuff, and it would not necessarily be suspect. There's not that many people around, so you could do it in a way without having to roll for it. That would be fine.
Just so that I know what we are looking for, what does she even look like? I've never met her, actually.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, she's a spring Eladrin. I mean, presumably they would have dressed her up for the ball, so, yeah. Does that help?
What does a spring Eladrin look like?
Oh, she looks like me, but it's springtime.
So, like...
Don't make me do this.
What?
Lucien is just like, you want me to describe this girl that is my fault that she's maybe dead? Like, he's just like, she looks like me, but a girl in a springtime.
So, like, flowers and
Fingers
stuff.
Is like he's like, I got this thing. Yeah, like pink flowers, she's got like darker tree bark, looking stuff going on. Look, you'll know her when you see her, okay? Just trust your heart. Trust your heart, let fate decide. Okay?
Okay.
Thalen was going to launch into like a poem he wrote about her beauty, and then everyone took over, and so he's like, well, yes. Anyway, Spring Eldrin, listen, you don't need to worry about that part. We'll point her out to you when we see her.
Right. And what is the game plan when we get in there? And if we find her, what are we going to do?
Everyone looks at you when you say that, and kind of like they look at you, and then they all look down.
Oh, okay, so we didn't think about one.
Well, I can tell you this: I've got absolutely nothing.
Right. Look,
Fingers is like he's like a colon slant. He's just like, yeah.
what about this? I have heard from you guys that she's the friendly type, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she would want to make friends. Is she trusting? Or is she...
The Lucian's gonna be like, yes, we'll go ahead and dismiss in the first place, I'm sure.
Alright. Why don't we just ask her to come with us? I'm sure she would say yes if she's trusting. Also, she knows you, right? I mean, I guess we wouldn't want her to see you and then maybe say your name.
Well, the only one, I mean, maybe this thing, and he's like side eyes like Thalen. You remember what he looks like, and then I mean, Fingers. I don't. Or she wouldn't have. You were in a balaclava, weren't you? And Fingers is like, she'll know my aura though. I'm sure she will know my aura.
You have a lot of confidence in that. See, channel that confidence into your performance tonight.
I have a powerful aura. He's gonna slip on like a stone and like be like, powerful aura. And Thalen's gonna be like, I assume she would remember the man she was going to go on a date with, you know. So presumably, yes.
Maybe that is a good idea. Perhaps.
They're all like, oh, thank God, a good idea.
She was with the person when you asked her out on a date, correct?
What do you mean, the person?
You said that she was with a nobleman, correct?
Yes, you know, noble woman.
Yes.
But, you know, yes. Why?
They.
I didn't lie. Ha. Anyway, why?
They have seen you, correct? They
yes,
know
I mean,
who you
listen,
are.
my father will be there. Thalen is not in disguise. Thalen is dressed as Thalen.
Hey,
So.
Thalen, look me in the eyes. You are not getting my drift. Go up to her and say, I need to talk to you about tomorrow's plan. Can we go somewhere in private? And then lead her to where we are, and then we all leave. Nobody would question if you go to talk to her if they already know that you two have agreed to be on a date together.
Well, I mean, I suppose it would be fine. Yes. Yes. That's what we'll do.
Right. You have to be cool about it, though. You can't get all flustered because you know that you're lying.
Listen, you don't need to worry about me being cool. And he's gonna like pat his pocket square. He's gonna be like, the only chink in this armor that I see is the man in question, Galen, my father. He will obviously be at the ball, and he will know that he will see me. That is
we
for
can
sure.
handle him.
What?
Point him out to us, and we can handle him.
What are you planning on doing to him?
What do you... Don't...
Fingers is like, hey, listen. And he's like, well, the point I'm trying to make is this. You're wearing his clothing, if you don't remember.
Do you think that they would recognize him on sight, or perhaps where did he buy these clothing?
Well, listen, I gave you some things. The only other thing that would make us be a little bit ostentatious is that these are quite out of date. Out of season, as it were. But listen, there's no universe in which Galen would remember that these were all of his clothes. He hasn't worn them in 1,000 years. I mean, I would have given you my clothing, which is a lie. But, you know, you're much too bloody tall for that. So, all I'm trying to say is that it would be better if I am not seen by at least him.
Correct. Me and Fingers can handle that.
Okay.
Just
I'm slightly afraid of what that
look, I
means.
didn't hurt you. We're not going to hurt him. We are just going to make sure that he doesn't see you.
Okay. Well, on the plus side of this is that he's old as dirt. So, and there's no way he will be wearing his glasses when he's at the ball. So you'll probably have quite a good shot of, getting away with whatever it is that you're getting away with. And the fact that I don't know it means that when it happens, I'm not an accessory to it.
There you go. That is the right way to think.
Okay. Well, so when we find Tavumile, now by the liquor store is about a 15-minute walk from the mayor's house because it's like all in the fancy schmancy district. It's getting a little bit more crowded in this area. So it's like there was like a sandbar of like ocean, and then all of a sudden, like, this is not, I'm trying to metaphor. But like, you go ocean, it's relatively shallow, and then there's a sandbar, and all of a sudden it is freaking 200 feet deep in ocean. That's kind of how it is with this. There's not a whole lot of people, like that one copper, maybe a couple other people, like, already drunk and being like, oh my gosh, the party is gonna be so fun. And then you get to this spot, and then all of a sudden it's just folks. So you've kind of reached that section of the universe as you're having this conversation. So if you want to say anything more in the sensitive information department, you have like 2 more sentences left of that without having to roll to see if somebody hears you.
Lucien, you find a place to be, you hang out there, and then Thalen will bring Tavumile to you.
How are you going to know what the place is? Can we come up with it now?
Yes. The bathroom. No. Bad. The...
Fingers, like, dies laughing. He's like, please do the bathroom. I want to hear Thalen come up with a reason why. He's like, oh, I got to take you to the bathroom. I've got to take you to the bathroom with me.
The garden, perhaps. Is there a garden? Fancy houses have
Thalen's like, well,
gardens.
perhaps you've been there before, Yes, there is a garden. I don't know how private it would be because, it will be sort of the perimeter manned by Uwethwei guards to make sure that...
Really? The only one that needs to not see her isn't it the people that are bringing her there? Who else would know her?
No, I just mean, like, if they see Lucien... It doesn't matter if they see her. It matters if they see him.
I guess that's true.
So,
Lucien, you'd have to be crafty about this. Hide somewhere.
Listen, I've nothing if not crafty. He's gonna, like, cough and it's gonna hurt, He'll be like, it's gonna be fine. I'm all over it. Just, okay, so the garden.
Sure.
Okay, there's a place. I found a place that is a good place to be in there, I suppose. And if plans change... Fingers is like thinking, and he's like, what if we we're gonna have to like be able to kind of talk to each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know Thieves Can't? Does Ethiad know Thieves Can't?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I do.
Well,
I also know Infernal, if anybody is interested.
Fingers is gonna be like, I do too, but we'll talk about that later. Also, if you speak Infernal there, the universe is gonna go, huh? Fingers is gonna be like, look, we can talk to each other from far away.
Right.
That and Fingers or Thalen's gonna be like, yeah, I can too. It's called yelling. What are you talking about? He's like, no, we do this, and then he's like says to you like, hey, Ethiad, sorry about leaving you alone in that whole tiefling thing earlier, but we're still bros, right? Thieves Can't.
And then Ethiad flips him the bird, and that's it.
Fingers is gonna turn to Thalen and be like, see, from far away we can communicate. And Thalen's like, I could do at least one of those things as well. Can I speak Thieves Can't? And he's gonna be like, we can talk to each other. We're the most mobile. He slips again. Probably we'll be the most mobile. So if you need to communicate information, just come find us, and then we can from far away.
Okay.
I think that'll be good.
I think that is good.
I have an idea for me. There's gonna be like a wet bar. I'll hang out there and just keep doing what I'm doing.
Drinking?
No. Like looking
Drunk?
drunk.
Right.
That's really all I got to contribute.
Then I'm alone in dealing with Galen.
Oh, that's true. We'll figure. Yeah, we'll. Okay, and then after
Look,
that,
you're going to be my prop. You're going to be my prop. You
Your
have
prop?
to ham up this drunkenness, and you're going to be my prop.
okay. I don't know how high my performance score is. Let me actually see how much of a good idea this is for you.
Let me look at my stats real
I'm
quick.
personally curious. Okay, I mean, it's gonna be how it's gonna be. Thalen is gonna be like, I would have wanted to decide, but the fact that people know who I am, I think could work to our benefit. In terms of distraction, as it were, and among other things. And also, I know, social norms and whatever, and I can sort of be our mouthpiece if there's any sort of fingers gonna be like, yeah, it's all gonna go great, I bet. Right now though, I think we should shut up and like there's all of a sudden like a wall of
Yeah.
folks. And go ahead and roll for me a perception check. I'm gonna roll 200 perception checks.
10.
Lucien rolled a nat 1. So I'm gonna say that there was like an uneven part in the road where he just was about to take a step, and as he steps down, his like hurt foot does like one of these, and it's just like and like falls, like takes a knee about it. And is fully like eyes closed, just like, just breathe, man. Like, it'll be okay. And when he does that, Thalen, who rolled a 3, is gonna like go to help him, but sort of just like, I don't know how to. I'm a fancy schmancy boy. I don't know these things. No one's ever gotten hurt in my presence, and so he's just kind of gonna like put his hands near him, but his attention is fully taken. You rolled a 10.
Yeah.
You are like that. What you see something? You see someone, because everyone's kind of walking the same direction, and then there's like a salmon situation of someone walking in this direction.
Okay.
You notice that, but you don't notice it in a way that matters.
Okay.
Like you just like you're like that, and then you go back to being like, "Are you good, Doug?" Yeah. And then Fingers is going to like become extremely rigid, like stand up and kind of just like step in front of you. And when he does that, he's gonna like take the sort of opening of his jacket and kind of like open it up, and he's just gonna go, "Hey, you guys, there's some soldiers over there."
Are you good? Are you?
Yeah, there's just some Uwethwei Royal soldiers over there.
Go.
So
Okay.
I think we should kind of, just chill for a minute right here behind here. And like Lucien is just like, "Oh, okay.
Lucien, please shut up. You just swallow it. Swallow it.
And Thalen is going to like also become helpful because he's like, "I can't help you. I can do this."
Yeah.
And Thalen is also he's gonna kind of like put his arm around Fingers' shoulder, and Fingers is just like, "What?" Physical contact. And it's like he's like, "No one has ever touched me except for like my mommy hugs me, and then also Ethiod. Recently we shared a hug." He's just like, I'm learning about what this is all about. And he's like, "What?" And then Thalen's gonna be like, "I know, man, crazy night." And Fingers is just gonna be like, "It's weird that you called me man. I'm not used to hearing you say that." Like they're having a meaningless conversation just to be like, there's literally nothing to say.
Yeah.
And Lucien is gonna kind of like grab onto you like you are an object and not like you are a person. And he's gonna, because you're kind of like, we'll say that you're kind of like, where are you? Just so I know. Like, what is your posture? Are you I'm helping the ruse, or are you like?
No, I'm like crouched down a little bit, kind of squatted down a little bit, and I'm just like, "Dude, you need to get it together."
Okay, he's gonna like grab onto you like you are a thing, and he's gonna be like, "Stand up."
Oh, right.
You like haul him up, and he's like,
Look,
"Okay."
Look. For the benefit of this going well, please, for the love of God, just drink this
potion.
Oh, what are you like holding it?
Yeah, because I brought it with. Cause I was like, you idiot.
That's right. He's like gonna pretend like he didn't hear you. He's gonna be like, "What's going on anyway?"
Listen to me. I'm gonna like grab his face in between my hands.
His mouth is doing like the I'm a guppy thing.
For the
What are you
benefit,
doing?
for the benefit of Tavumile, please drink this. You are falling apart.
As you me every day at work. As you kind of like do that, you feel both fingers who is still like jacket flaps out, and he's just like, I cannot come up with a reason to justify this. I'm airing out the pits. That's what's going on. And Lucien, who is also kind of trying to be a part of this, start walking back into you, like pushing you guys backwards to the edge. Because you were kind of like, if you're sort of on there's a thoroughfare on the left of the thoroughfare. These presumably soldiers. Are also kind of on the left.
Okay.
So they stood in front of them, and they're walking back and kind of pushing you towards the right.
Okay.
And as you kind of feel that, what do you do? Feel them pushing back into you?
I think that while I still have this hand on Lucian's face, I also, shoulder steer him in a way that will be like, you're not going to fall again, because I am controlling where you were stepping. But, let them do that, because I'm like, they probably have a good reason for this.
Oh, yeah. As you kind of do that, he's like, gets mad about the fact that you're pushing him.
Yeah.
Like, and he's kind of like trying to like be hurt, but also like make that stop. And so he's just like, what's going on anyway?
Listen, there are soldiers right over there, and I don't want, before we even get into the ball, for you to get killed.
He's like, looks... Well, roll investigation.
Okay. 13.
You see on his face a look of like pure fear.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
He's just like.
I think I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay.
Listen.
All right, we're going this way
listen.
now. You can gather that the soldiers have moved.
Yeah.
And that you are being guided to the other side of the street. He's like, you guys really could,
listen,
help us out here with this.
You are falling apart. You are making this more noticeable to you. But you might get poisoned, or perhaps you'll get fucking beheaded at this ball. If this soldier is like, oh, there's a gravely injured man who maybe sort of looks like the man that was supposed to be dead. Drink it, please.
I'd rather die than have drink something given to me.
You want to do that to Tavumile? Do you want to do that to Tavumile?
Roll persuasion.
Okay. For the love of God, give me a good roll. 13.
He is going to like look at you. How are you holding the potion?
I'm like gripping it in my hand, but because I have one hand on like his shoulder, and it's like in my hand on the shoulder, kind of, so that it's like still there, but I'm just like, feel it on you? Do you feel it? This is what you need to take.
He's gonna take it, and he's gonna stick it in his pocket. He's gonna take it and do kind of like the thumb up, like he's about to uncork it.
Yeah.
To presumably take it. And when he does that, Fingers who is steering this whole battleship, is going to, because he can't see where he's going.
Yeah.
He is going to walk backwards and he pushes you all into a wall.
Okay.
So he's like standing in front of the wall with his arms out, with the jacket out, and Thalen also can't see, and he like pushes you back into the wall. And so Lucien kind of feels the wall impact, and he's like, I don't want to freaking spill it. And so he kind of like and then he just like puts his like arm down.
Okay.
And like puts it in his pocket. So as you kind of come across into the wall, it's like Fingers is back is not his back is like at the wall. Thalen hit the wall first.
Okay.
Then there's Fingers, and then you are like kind of around the corner, and then Lucien was in front of you, and he is also kind of like he also hits the wall, and then Fingers just starts from there walking back. He's like, "Sorry guys," and he like pushes you like the rest of the way down, and then like around the corner.
Yeah. Okay.
And so as you kind of like go around the corner, he's gonna be like, "Hey, they're coming this way, so everybody be chill. Thalen, go look like a fancy boy and look like regular. Nothing's going on over here or something." And he's gonna like just like Thalen's gonna be like, "What?" And then he's just gonna push him out into the middle of the street. And Thalen is gonna freaking just sort of like, he's like, you see him kind of like do one of these, and then he just sort of adopts like some sort of posture. Casual, like act normal posture. He's really like, he puffs out the chest on the pocket square side, and he's just sort of like posted up, looking appropriately gentlemanly. So as you're kind of going around there, people would be able to, you're in sort of like a group of people, like I said, kind of hiding in plain sight style. So there are other people kind of around you near this alleyway, like not necessarily in it. So if Thalen talked, it would be, people would hear it, but they might not care.
Okay.
But you wouldn't have any way of knowing if they cared.
Yeah.
So Thalen is gonna be just kind of like standing out there and being like a ruse, and like just he like is like kind of casually trying to like point out to you where the soldiers are, without indicating,
making it
stuff
obvious.
like that. So he's kind of just like doing that, and Fingers is gonna be like, "Yeah, actually, let me roll this again." He's gonna be like, "Yeah, guess what I heard?" He's like out, kind of doing also like some posted up action, while you and Lucien are kind of standing behind him, and he's gonna be like, "I heard them say something about your boy here."
What do you mean? What did they say?
Lucien's like just like staring at him, because he's like, what do you mean? And he's gonna be like, "Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, it appears that and as you say that, as like your attention is on Fingers, roll a perception check.
Okay. 6.
You hear some kind of like sound, general sound, coming from the direction of where Thalen was standing, but you're not facing him, so you don't know what that could be. Actually, I'll have Fingers roll perception too. Okay, so the moment Fingers, this is good, the moment Fingers hears the sort of, it's just sort of like general like like get your attention noises. He's gonna stop. He like turned from being posted up facing the outside world to posted up facing you guys, and he's just gonna turn back around to look at Thalen. And Thalen is going to be like walking in front of even that area. And you hear someone go, "So we're looking for," like, you can kind of make out what someone is saying.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, so we're looking for a winter elytron. So we're wondering if you've seen any sort of walking around the area." And you can hear like someone, say something in a language that you don't speak.
Yeah.
And then just sort of continue walking, and then you hear them be like, "Sorry, this is a matter," and then like volume goes down as presumably they're walking farther away. Fingers is gonna like kind of like look over his shoulder and like whisper out of the corner of his mouth and be like, "Yeah, I mean, mostly what I heard was that they were looking for Lucien, but I don't know why."
This has gotten bad. This is bad. This is so bad.
Get it together, man. Come on, we gotta be chill. He doesn't even look like himself right now. Thalen has like gone off, presumably in the direction of the soldiers.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll to see if he picks anything else up. He does not. He's gonna like come around, and he's gonna like kind of like walk back behind the building and just be like, "I think we just need to go. I mean, if they question us, he's in disguise, so I think it should be okay. It looks like they're just asking for identifying documents, and if people have them, and a lot of people don't, and they're just sort of blowing them off.
All right. What? Do you think that they would know about Tavumile if they're looking for you? Do you think that they would be also looking for her? It was her farm.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can imagine why they're looking for me, but I don't know why they'd be,
Why are they looking? Just because you fought back? Or because you saw what happened?
I think they wanted to kill me.
Just because you were there?
I don't know, you act like I'm got some sort of insight into this or something.
Well, you have more insight into this than I do.
All I can tell you, and his voice is raising a little bit too much.
Be quiet.
He's gonna be like, don't make me pull a Thalen on you, dog. And he's gonna be like, all I can tell you is that they absolutely tried to kill me. They failed. I heard them searching for me, and I managed to get out of there. So maybe they feel like they need to finish the job or something.
Fine.
Like I have some sort of information. I
Look,
don't know.
You, with your stubbornness, I understand. He could have ratted you out just then. So he didn't. And you're adding a level of complexity to this plan by how gravely fucking injured you are. Drink the stupid fucking drink.
He's gonna take his frickin' arm that isn't broken.
Yeah.
He's gonna slam his fist as hard as he can against the wall. He's gonna take
God.
a D1 full of worth of damage. So I'm gonna say that it was he was putting everything into it that he could as someone who is really, really hurt, so it wasn't that much. He's going to take the potion out of his pocket, bite the cork off, and down the whole thing. After he does that, he is going to, oh gosh, I can't think of any other descriptor for this. When you really need to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then you go, and then, for the next hour, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so good.
Yeah.
He is pure, you have never seen someone look so relieved. He is just a potion of greater here. I freaking forgot to write down how many but it's markedly.
Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, it's
good.
really his arm is still broken because it doesn't heal things like that.
Yeah.
But his general sort of injuries have decreased a lot. And he kind of glugs the whole thing. While he's chugging it down, Thalen is looking at him too. He's behind you, so you heard him turn. You would imagine he would be turned, but you can't see him, so you don't know his expression. But you're kind of standing next to Fingers, and Fingers is just smiling, happy, surprised expression.
Okay.
And he does a wow, kind of posture of his body. Well, actually, let me see how much of the potion he drinks. He drinks a lot, a good amount of it. Yeah, he drinks the entire potion except for a single hit points worth at the bottom that probably he just couldn't get down.
Yeah.
I only have so much tummy room. And he's gonna kind of he wipes his mouth and stuff and rubs it on his freaking pants, and he's gonna just stand up into his normal person posture. And he's gonna wiggle his arm to be nah, it's so broken. Okay, it's fine. But he looks generally just when it's oh, here's a better way of describing it. When you hold your breath and you finally take a breath and you're oh, okay, wow.
Look, and you're not dead. How great was that?
He's gonna grab your shirt.
Yeah.
And caught front of it. And he's gonna pull your face really close, and he's gonna be if I bloody die,
you'll be dead.
I will find. That's a good point. And he shoves you back. He's just everybody shut up. I feel excellent. Let's go figure this out. And so I'm gonna say, because this would be lovely, as you he also still has a level of exhaustion because the potion doesn't remove that, but he is much more hit pointed to the degree that I will calculate in the future. Eat my shorts if you have a problem with You're behind the corner of the building. You didn't, there was no like, well, let me see. You didn't cause a scene at all somehow. You rolled a nat 20 on not causing a scene. So like this seemed like, just par for the course general shenanigans going on, even though it was like extremely emotionally charged and etc. And as you kind of peep around the corner, we're going to do like Lucien's head, and then like Ethiod's head, and then like Finger's head.
Foil stacked
and
layer.
Thalen's head, and he's very shorter than you, and so he's just like barely around the corner. And Thalen is going to be like, I see the soldiers walking off in sort of the, west.
Can you use normal human terms? West, east?
Left.
Thank you.
Yes. So if we go off in that direction, you might be able to gather a bit more intel, or we can go off to the right, and might be easier to pass through.
Look, let's just go in. Let's just go in where the soldiers did not go. I don't care about the intel. They're looking for him, if we know that, and it would be bad if they found him. So, let's avoid that.
Sounds good to me. And Lucien is gonna just like strut out of behind the thing, just like, baby, this is great. Fingers is like, man, I'm so happy for that guy. And then he like slips a little bit. He's like, may I'll get mine someday too. Thalen is going to like look at the camera like he's on The Office and be like, how is this my life right now? And you walk out from behind it. Cool. And so you're all kind of walking in a little mass. I'm going to just roll something real quick. Okay. As you kind of walk off in that direction, you don't encounter any difficulty with any sort of soldiers or anything like that. They're all sort of off in the corner. Mm-hmm. But you can see where they are.
Yeah.
And they're not in a place that would impact you. But if you did want to listen in, there is a vantage point that you could use if you were interested.
Okay.
If you're not interested, you don't have to.
I think that Ethiod wants to listen in, but he doesn't want the others to know that he is, because he doesn't want it to be a group of people trying to be like, yeah.
Okay.
But he doesn't want to be so far behind that he loses them and then can't get into the ball because he doesn't know where freaking Thalen is.
Roll a I'm gonna roll a luck check to see if it would be conceivable that you would be able to like quickly break off, catch some words, and then go back. So we'll say like that would be pretty nasty. Mm-hmm. But you're pretty nasty. So we'll say 15 or higher on the die, you would be able to do that.
Okay.
3. So there's no way. So you just have to like keep bussing it forward. Cool. So you approach kind of the main entryway to the mayor's house. It is, brilliant and great and lovely and wonderful. There's like tons and tons of folks. There's like a main street, kind of like stone walls, like gate. The gates are open, and then there's like an entryway. Mm-hmm. And you see at the entryway from where you are, even as far away as you are, the glint of Uwethwei soldier armor and uniforms at the very entrance.
Confident. Be confident.
Fingers is going to be like, yeah, that'll work. And as you're kind of standing out there, the camera is going to pull away from the scene. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Camera pans out of that scene and flies backwards, back over Waypoint Town in the opposite direction, kind of over the mayor's house, all over, sweeping the beautiful ball, finery everywhere. And it keeps going off in that direction. And then full blackout. The next thing that we see is a stone ceiling kind of materializes into view. Ooh. A stone ceiling. And you can feel yourself kind of touching your own kind of clothes, and you can feel your hair kind of in around you. And you, Tavumile, are laying in you're laying in a bed. You can tell that much just from not even really being able to process a whole lot of anything.
Okay.
You're just kind of laying in a bed. You see a stone ceiling above you, and you kind of like gradually gain awareness, but it's a familiar feeling. It is literally the feeling of just waking up. Like
Okay.
there's no sort of questionable aspect about it to you. And as you wake up from your sleep, what is it that you do?
I blink a couple times, rub my eyes, and sit up and kind of look around to be like,
Okay. Now, is this real? Or is this not real? How do I tell?
How is she gonna test that theory?
I think that in her head, she's like,
Well, I one time heard that you can tell if you're in a dream if your hands look weird.
and then she like sprays them out and shoves them in her face and like stares at them, kind of flexes the fingers a little bit.
It's like an AI situation. Yeah. The AI will make your hands look weird. They look. You roll a perception check.
Okay. 19.
They look completely unremarkable to you. They just look like your hands. So let that.
I don't know if that means that this is real, or if they need to look more remarkable if they are real.
The problem with this scene is that you're alone in this room. So this is going to be a lot of Tavumile spinning her wheels about what is and isn't real. I can tell you that you feel extremely short-rested.
Yeah.
So there's that. Everybody gets a short. I told you this was going to happen.
Short rest.
Yeah, you get a short rest.
I was freaking
Listen,
clonked out.
let me tell you about the fact that I have to tell you it's a short rest so that you can roll for it hurts me because it reveals information.
Well, I think after poking and prodding at myself for a little bit, maybe pulling my hair a little to be like, is
Ow.
this okay? That hurt. Well,
You look around the room.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So it is a stone room, ceiling stone, walls are all stone. It is, the bed is completely just like, wooden bed, nondescript as nondescript can be, slightly sort of old looking, like it has been well loved. And the sheets are like someone got the doo-doo sheets out and tried to make them look as nice as they could. They did their best to like polish this turd to make it look.
Yeah.
There is a very small window which is barred.
Okay.
It is a window to the outside. You can tell because you can see the sky from the outside from where you are. And then there is like a bookshelf with no books on it, a chair, and one of the legs is like slightly shorter than the other leg. Like it's like that level of like, there is some basic stuff in this room. And there's like, the floor is stone, but there's like a little carpet that's a little like moth-eaten type situation. So that's what you're looking at.
And, okay. Jeez.
This does not look like a ball. Did I dream all of that?
I think I'm gonna like go to the barred window and kind of look outside to see, like, am I high up? Am I like where in relation to what I know am I?
Okay, if that is the information you're looking for, you don't have to roll for it. You
Okay.
can look out the window and see that it is like a early night, late evening, like
Okay.
dark dusk type affair, and you are extremely high up,
Okay, great.
like many floors. And you can look down and you just see stone below you. And then you see, like, out of the very corner of your eye, because it's a round tower, like, you can tell from the inside of the room that you're in, you can see, like, a tiny little fire, like, it would be, like, a torch that is just past where you can really actually see.
Okay. I think that I'm going to walk to, is there a door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First, I'm going to try to open it. Oh, that's probably not going to work.
It is unlocked. It is locked, for sure.
And then I think I'm just going to knock on it and just be like,
Hello? I'm really not sure where I am. Could somebody please tell me?
You're like close to the door as you say this. You're kind of calling out.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you say that, you can hear people talking to each other, and then voices are getting kind of louder and louder, and you can hear sort of a slightly higher, more like kind of like meek voice, and then a deeper, more like full voice. And as they come into focus, you can hear one of them say, "Well, I'll let her know, so you don't have to worry about that. Just go off and do whatever clerical thing you sort of folks do, and I'll see you later." And you hear a little voice go, "Yes, master, excuse me," and like skitter off down this like presumably stone kind of stairwell. And you hear someone take kind of like 2 steps to kind of like stance.
Yeah.
And then like take a deep breath and open the like wooden door latch thing.
Yeah.
And kind of push the door open.
Okay. I'd like take a couple steps back till does it push towards my?
Yeah.
Okay.
It pushes in.
Yeah, I let them like open it.
Oh, okay. So are you behind the door, or are you gonna stand so that the person could see you?
I think stand so the person can see me.
Okay. So he is going to open the door, and as he kind of pushes the door open, you see, the first place his eyes are going to is like past where the door opened. So he's like obviously not expecting you to be there. And then, so as he opens the door, he kind of like he looks like one way, and then he kind of looks back at you. And, this is a high elf.
Okay.
He is dressed in a sort of like, relaxed yet battle ready sort of like leather armor situation.
Okay.
Like, when a firefighter takes off half of their
yeah,
like he's like doing one of those.
Okay.
Like, it's very like at a moment's notice, but this is chill mode for me. And he is relatively tall. He's got sort of like a goldish greenish light skin tone.
Okay.
And like a kind of matching hair color that is slightly lighter. That's in very elegant like braids, like in his hair, kind of altogether, like it's longer. And he's gonna push the door the rest of the way open and be like, "Oh,
hello. We match in skin color a little bit."
Right. Excuse me. And he's gonna like turn to shut the door the rest of the way, but he's kind of like looking at you out of one eye because he's like not expecting you to be. Yeah. He's like, I forgive me. I would have knocked, but I wasn't expecting you to be on your feet.
Oh, it's all right. I have a couple questions.
Yes, I imagine you would.
Yes. First, I'm Tavumile Fenra. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?
Yes. Frenthius.
Frenthius? Ah, that sounds like friends. That must be a good omen. Anyways, the second question that I have is this the ball? Is this what the ball is like?
He's looking at you like he was really expecting to be leading this conversation, and the fact that you've taken over as this like young girl who doesn't know where he is like very confounding to him. Like he's like, listen, I'd be more than happy to answer all of your questions, but
okay.
At first I need to sort of go ahead and sit down. And he's gonna kind of like motion over to the bed.
I'm gonna sit down on the ground in front of him.
He looks off into the like corner of the room like he's like asking whatever deity for strength. And he's gonna look back at you.
Do you want to sit down with me? Sometimes it's nice to have conversations when you're sitting on the ground and you got your legs all crossed and then you get all comfy and then it makes you a bit more open.
Roll a perception check.
Okay. 8.
He looks like he is in emotional pain. That is increasing with each word you say. And so he's kind of just like looking at you, and you can tell that there's a lot going on behind his eyes.
Yeah.
And he's going to, as you talk at him, he's just going to kind of crouch down.
Okay.
And so he's going to be like, well, I suppose you said you have many questions, so why don't you ask them and I'll answer them as best I can.
All right. Is this the ball? Is this what a ball is like?
No.
All right. Why did I don't remember falling asleep. Did I go to sleep?
Yes, you did. For quite a while.
How long?
For quite a while.
What?
On your way here, you were asleep.
All right. Well, how long did it take to get here? I remember leaving Lady Gwynth's house.
Is that really all the questions that you have?
Well, I guess I'm also curious as if this isn't the ball, then where am I?
You are in a waypoint, not waypoint town. You're at a waypoint. You are on the Uwethwei side
All
of
right.
the border.
Why am I here? I thought that I was supposed to go to the ball because I looked, I guess, on theme is what Lady Gwynth was saying.
Yes. Well, I hate to tell you this. Unfortunately, there's been some sort of incident.
Right.
You've been brought here for your own protection.
An incident.
Indeed.
What does that mean?
Something has happened to your farm.
My farm?
Yes, it seems that there was a nefarious person who has done something evil. And we've brought you here to make sure that you are safe.
What happened?
I regret to inform you that your farm has been burned. It was a criminal act, and it will be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
Right. Do you know who Lucien is? Or do you know of a Hibiscus Fenra?
Is that your mother?
Yes.
Unfortunately, it appears as though she lost her life in the fire.
She just kind of holds eye contact for a little bit, stands up, kind of turns and looks out the window. And I think that she like bites her lip like really hard to be like, all right, perhaps this is still a dream. I'm going to assume that this is still a dream and that everything's all right.
My dear, and Franthius is gonna like stand back up and he's gonna be like, I can assure you
Right.
that it is not a dream.
Right. So,
Who?
Sorry about this.
I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm fine, and everything is going to be all right, and it's going to be fine.
He's
Can
like,
I see Lady Gwynth, please?
He's like walking over towards you because he can tell that you were like pre-freak out.
Yeah,
and, he's
and I'm gonna
be
take
like,
a step back.
time to de-escalate this. And he's gonna be like, my dear, listen, I need to ask you a question about this name you mentioned, this Lucien. By any chance, is he a winter Eladrin?
Yes.
We believe him to be the perpetrator of this incident.
I see what this is. I sometimes have to tell Lucien that I don't like his jokes because his jokes are a little bit mean, and I didn't know that other people did this too.
Do you really think that this is a joke?
Lucien wouldn't do anything like that.
He's gonna like take out of his pocket something and kind of show it to you. It is something that would be very identifying of Lucien specifically.
Okay.
What is it?
Oh.
Something that you would 100% know that it was his.
a woven bracelet that I made him that had my favorite button on it.
Okay, so he's gonna pull it out of his pocket, and he's gonna show you it, and it's gonna have like black kind of char on part of it, and he's going to be like, he's gonna kind of show it to you and be like, this was worn when we found his body.
His body.
Did you know him well?
Can I have that, please?
I suppose so. And he like holds it out to you.
I like clench it in my fist really, really hard. And I slip it onto my wrist. And I go,
I would like to see Lady Gwent, please.
My darling, unfortunately, she isn't here.
I want to go. I don't want to be here. I'm sorry. Can I please go? I forgot my manners. Can I please?
He's gonna like take a couple steps back towards the door.
Mm-hmm.
He shut it after he whatever, but he's just sort of between you and the door, more in a more meaningful way. Than
yeah.
it was. And he's gonna be like, my dear, this to ensure that this crime is not committed again, we do need some more information from you. Do you know perhaps what would have been his motivation for such
He didn't do it. He wouldn't. He wouldn't.
My
And
dear-
I guess if he actually is not here anymore. If he's not here anymore, then it doesn't matter. Because it wouldn't happen again because he's not here. He's not here. I would like to go back to town. And I would like to... There's somebody I know there that I would like to see. And I would like to please go find them. And I have things that I need to do. I have things that I need to do, and I have a place that I have to be in. How long has it been? Maybe I have to be there in 2 days, 3. I don't know how long it's been, and I don't.
What are you talking about?
I have to go see somebody, and I would really like to go now, please, and I don't want to be here. And while you're taking me back to town, I can answer your questions. I just want to be in town.
Okay, well, if that is your wish, I can see about putting that plan in action for you. But you must, for your own protection, sit tight here for now.
I remember the night being in my carriage with me. Are they here?
A night.
A night?
Oh, yes.
Are they here?
Yes, they are here.
Is it fine, then, if they walk around with me, so I don't have to sit in here? Please,
Unfortunately...
sorry.
And she like looks up and she like smiles a little bit and she's very like her eyes are very welled up with tears
like brim
and stuff.
of
And
crying.
she's like holding onto her wrist, like where the one that's like holding the bracelet and's like rubbing it with her other hand.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like,
I just, my mom always, said that sitting around wasn't good for the mind or the body. So I would like to, I don't know, not do that right now and listen to my mom. I can't sit here, please.
and I think that she is going to take one of her like friends' potions
Oh,
to
okay.
try and
Oh, snap.
make it so that he will listen to her and let her do her thing. And I think that the way that she's gonna play this off is because the last time she threw it at
Yeah.
Fingers, I think this time she's just like bunching up her dress and kind of like anxious feelings, like, you know, pulling at her clothes and stuff. And she like pulls out one of the vials and just like spills it at like his feet, kind of like she's just like accidentally did something like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna roll to.
So you're gonna try and make it look unintentional?
I think more so of just she's just like, this is a thing that might help. I will do this. And,
Okay.
like, yeah, but like she's not being super like direct about it, like splashing it on him or anything.
Got you.
So,
Okay, so you have rolled on any check involving charisma.
Yeah, which persuasion is.
Okay, so,
charisma.
and what is it? You have advantage on it?
Yeah.
Okay, you can roll charisma, or roll persuasion.
What'd you get?
Girl, what'd you get?
19.
Ooh, snap. Okay, so this is what happens. He got a 12.
Okay.
So there's definitely a difference there. He is going to look at you, and all he sees is this like shaking little person.
Yeah.
Who is like, I'm not going to cry. Everything is fine. I don't know how to process this.
Yeah.
Like, nothing is real. Everything is bad. And he's going to look at you, and your request to him was to let you walk around and to go get Arliss and Barbielle.
To be like, they can chaperone me.
Yeah, they can like hang.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
hang out together. And he is going to look at you and say, I will go get your knight.
Okay.
But you must wait here for me to get back. I don't know. They have other duties to attend to, so it might take me a moment to find them. And while I find them, you must stay here.
I think that she sticks out her hand with her pinky extended, and she says, you have to promise that you'll come back.
He's going to extend a gloved hand. And when he does that, his hand is so much bigger than yours. Like, it's so much bigger because he's like a tall man.
Yeah.
And he sticks his pinky out, and he's going to like curl his pinky around yours, and he's going to say, I promise. And he's going to lean in and kiss his own hand.
She does it too.
Was that something that she was planning on being part of the pinky swear?
I think that she's just like, must have to do this.
I must be culturally sensitive in this.
Can I ask one last thing?
Sure.
Is it all right if I get a hug?
Oh, from me?
Yes.
Oh, I suppose so. And he's going to like very awkwardly sort of extend his arms out.
And she goes up and she wraps her whole like arms around his neck and just kind of puts her face into his neck, takes a really deep breath, and goes,
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. He kind of like, you had to jump up together. So he's going to kind of like put you back down.
Yeah.
And he's going to be like, I will be back.
Okay. You promised, so
I did.
please don't make another promise that overwrites this one.
I won't do that.
Okay.
Okay. He's gonna like back out backwards from the door, and you can hear on the other side the door latching.
okay.
Is there anything you want to do right at this moment?
I don't think so. I think that I want to reach into my pocket to see if the rat is still there.
Oh, so I didn't say this before. You're just in sort of the like underclothes and
Oh.
like the shift dress.
Okay.
That was underneath. Yeah. So all of the finery has been removed. It was just like they took off like anything that was over top of this like underdress that you
Okay.
were wearing. So all that's gone. So you don't have a pocket.
Oh, my rat.
So you are sans rat. as
Okay. I think that I go onto the bed and I kind of lay down with my feet still on the ground, like, knees bent and all that.
Yeah.
And I just kind of think in my head, I'm like,
Well, I guess that's fitting for the situation.
and then just wait for him to show up.
Okay, so as you wait for him to show up, the camera is gonna kind of leave your
Bro,
room.
no.
It's gonna go downstairs, and it's gonna follow our pal Frenthius as he goes downstairs. It kind of goes past him, and goes all the way to the bottom floor. And at the bottom floor, you see several knights in armor, some
Okay.
not in armor anymore. Many have taken their helmets off because downstairs is sort of a communal hangout zone, and there is food, like pieces of stale bread and stuff like that, sort of being passed between the knights. And there are knights like the Oath of Silence, like great knight, big suits armor guys. And then there are just common foot soldiers, like infantrymen, just sort of general. There's not that many of them. There's like a handful. And Arliss and Barbielle is one of them.
Okay.
And they are sitting at a table, and there is a spread of food in front of you that you cannot eat. So there's a glass of untouched, or a flagon, we'll say, of untouched ale.
Yeah.
And just fully, like, untouched. And the only sound that Arliss and Barbielle can hear is their own stomachs growling, reverberating off the inside of the armor.
Arliss, it smells so good.
I know, but we must have self-control.
When are we going to actually leave here?
What are you talking about leaving? We have to figure out what's going on first.
Wait a second. That's not what we agreed on.
Well, we have got to leave the girl. What if something
you're
bad
right.
happens to her? Thank you.
You're right.
When am I not right? And she's like,
How are we going to find her, though?
I haven't gotten that far yet. Let's just focus right now on finding a way to eat this food without taking off our helmet or any other thing.
All right.
And as you are kind of like coming up with a plan with your sister as to how to do that,
Maybe we just open up the hatch and then throw it down.
the hatch.
The night helmet hatch.
What if someone see my head is so much smaller than the head of the... She's like
Oh,
looking
no.
out of the mouth. Like my eyes being where the mouth goes does not bode well. And you hear, as you guys are doing this, she kind of like tap, tap, tap on your little feet and or on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And you can, from the way that she's positioned, you can see out of where you are. You don't have like the world's greatest field of vision, but you can also hear kind of like the footsteps approach. There's like some general chatter.
Yeah.
But you guys are kind of off in the corner because you're trying to be covert about stuff. And you hear some kind of like footsteps approaching you specifically, and then they kind of walk past you. And Arliss opens her mouth, like you can see her open her mouth to say something else, and then the footsteps stop, and they turn around, and you hear them getting louder as they walk towards you. And Arliss is kind of just like has gone from like I'm down here now to kind of like being like head in helmet status, and she kind of like is staring straight ahead at the untouched food. And you hear a voice say, "Good night. I see that you're not at rest. It is your devotion and loyalty which sees you sitting here in your armor alone. Or is such a mission as this unsettling to you?" And you and frickin' Arliss are... I mean, Arliss is just like, well, it's weird that he's talking to us.
Yeah. I think that I like shift the legs to kind of like indicate that we are going to turn towards him. But yeah.
Arliss is like slower on the uptake because she's like next to where he is talking.
Yeah.
You can hear the voices coming from up, and obviously it's like down on you because he's standing and you're sitting. And so like as the lower body turns, like after that the upper body turns like in the most unnatural. And he says, "Naturally, you cannot answer. Nevertheless, the order of the true king of the Uwethwei clan is truly in your debt. I have a favor to ask of you. And you can hear the voice kind of walking around to face you.
Yeah.
I can only ask this of someone in your position. You can feel like a drop of water as it's sweat. You freaks as like Arliss's sweat hits you. And you hear the voice continue. I'm not in the business of keeping secrets from the king. And you can hear the voice, it's close to you now. So there is a leaning in that is taking place.
Barbielle is trying to be like not breathe.
I have to sync my breathing up with my sisters so that they have 2 lungs. He's informed me repeatedly that this is a dangerous game. However, my curiosity cannot be sated unless I see it for myself. And you can hear him kind of be like, I'm rambling.
Yeah.
I apologize. But if you would, please come along with me. I mean, a knight in full armor certainly casts an intimidating presence. And I'm going to meet a monster. And he sort of backs up and sort of waits for your response.
Freaking Barbielle is like tenses up when she hears I'm going to meet a monster. She's like, no. Like in her head, she's like, why does this always have to happen to us?
And like the whole time you've been like, Arliss has been like kicking the back of your shoulder, like, you gotta stand us up, dude.
Yeah, it's
You're
like
in charge of the legs.
Right, and stands up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, go ahead and roll performance.
Okay.
I'll roll for Arliss.
9.
Oh, she got a 21. So together, I'm not gonna average that. Together, you're in the ballpark of 15, which is good. So you like managed to compose your slightly disjointed get up into something that is regular. And you kind of stand up together, and Arliss is directing you to follow this man to wherever he is to go.
Holy crap.
And you walk, you as the legs, you can kind of see, you see the other soldiers and the table and their food, which is gone, which smells so good, and you're extremely jealous. And you're following him, you can hear the footsteps, and Arliss is kind of directing your movements, and you start going up the stairs, but you stop relatively quickly. So this room is not so high up that you will be entering. And so he kind of stands for a moment outside, and he opens the door to the room, and Arliss motions you to walk forward into the room. And you can see from your little hidey hole where you are something at the end of the room.
Okay.
In order to actually be able to see, because you are not in the right position, you would have to walk you guys closer.
Okay.
Arliss can see what it is, but she can't say.
Yeah.
So if you want to see, you can.
Yeah, I think I'll walk closer just to be like, you had me escort you here, so this must be normal.
So as you kind of start walking with the legs, Arliss is gonna kind of be like, don't like kind of try and stop you, and you feel sort of like a something preventing you from going forward.
Okay.
And you kind of hear Frenthius like do like a sniff, like a relax there, pal. What are you doing? I'm in charge. And Arliss is gonna like, whoa, Nelly, like keep you from going forward. You hear Frenthius walk a few steps forward. He kneels down, and you hear him say, "Good evening, Miss Fenra. My name is Frenthius Uwethwei." And as he says that, the camera is gonna go back.
What is happening?
The camera is going to leave this room on a tantalizing cliffhanger, and is going to, as the sort of Miss Fenra kind of makes contact with Arliss's brain at the very least. At some point in the process, they would have heard you be called Tavumile Fenra.
Yeah, I think I even said to her.
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah.
And so they are slowly making the connection in their brain, like, wait, okay, this is either, like, Arliss can see who it is.
Yeah.
And knows that it's not Tavumile.
Yeah.
Barbielle is maybe like, okay.
Yeah. Are we here?
Where's what?
Yeah.
But as Arliss is kind of like connecting the dots slowly in her brain, that is where that scene is going to kind of end.
Okay.
And the camera is going to be plunged into darkness. And it's dark for a while, just for cinematic pacing. So, and out from the darkness, you're in a broom closet.
Yeah.
You are in a, let me put it in a different way. You are in a closet that is for the purpose of sort of general, like use, like house use things. The location of this place is ambiguous.
Okay.
So, you know that, you know why you are here. And you also know that in this place, you are not alone. And standing in front of you, is a very, very angry officer.
Okay.
Of the, of Uwethwei's Royal Court. And he's angry. You know this. You could hear him making angry noises. And you know this because you know why he's angry.
Okay.
And there's no sound, just like for cinematic purposes, not because it's real. And then all of a sudden, you hear him. He's like walking back and forth, pacing, like he can't even speak to you. He's so angry.
Yeah.
And he turns back to you and says, "I'm certainly unpleasantly surprised by your inability to perform even the basic function of your position, especially given your reputation." You don't know who you are.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to let you know that.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't really know what.
The bare minimum one would expect of an assassin is to kill an assigned target, is it not?
Look, sometimes things get in the way, and it just so happens that I don't know.
He's been seen in town.
Yeah.
Bloodied, limping, sure, but he's been
Okay.
seen. You have a very cavalier attitude towards this.
Sometimes people are harder to kill than you think they are.
If word gets back to my command that you can appreciate the delicate position this puts the operation in, failure is simply not an option.
Sometimes it is.
Frenthius is going to he's becoming additionally exasperated.
Oh, this is friend. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't really matter that you know that. He kind of turns on you. What do you like? What's your body positioning? Like, how are you kind of standing?
Frigging feet apart to shoulder width and arms crossed, just kind of I don't I get. I mean, I can go find him again and have it be fine and normal, and I'll kill him this time. He's, injured.
You're right. You will kill him this time.
Right. By the way, I know you didn't want to tell me before, but why do you want him dead? Why is this
Like I said,
Right.
discretion is key.
I mean, I gotta find my motivation, though, to, kill...
Here's your motivation, and he's gonna, take a dagger out of his pocket, and he's gonna, slam it into the wall next to your head.
Jeez, man. Fine. All right.
I will help you find additional motivation if you lack it.
It's good. I'm good.
If you want to keep your life, I suggest you end his.
Right.
Now, we can only imagine what it is that he's doing in town. You will be stationed at the ball. You will find him, and you will end him once and for all.
Sure. Yeah. I'll do that.
Frenthius, rolls his eyes and throws his hands up in the air. and you know in your brain what happened, and you know what this target looks like.
Yeah.
And as you picture who this person is, can Shay guess who maybe I'm talking about?
Lucien.
Yeah, okay, cool. Just making sure that was clear. An image of a winter Eladrin. You know him to be named Lucien Valmoira.
Yeah.
You know everything about him. That was the information that was provided to you for this contract.
Yeah.
And you are also remembering the last time you saw him, which was in a farmhouse that was burning down.
I love
And
this.
he was and he was crumpled on the ground at your feet, half just clothes all singed and fire all around. And you remember what happened and why he escaped. And that's where we're going to end this session.
Bro, if you make
I'm going to
me
make you kill Lucien.
Lucien, I'm going to kill
I'm gonna
you
make
in
you
real
kill
life.
Lucien. You were in order for you. I did think it was really snazzy when you were like, "Tell me why we're killing this guy. Could you let me know?" That's when I was just like, "Oh, she knows it's Lucien.
Yeah.
Why else would you friggin' kill? Just like refresh my memory." It's funny because I thought I'm excited about this character that you've picked for this assassin.
Yeah.
Because he's very like cavalier attitude towards life. And Frenthius is gonna be like, why did we hire these?
Poor freaking Tavumile.
Dude, Monica, when I was telling you, no joke, this is so embarrassing. When I was telling you, Tavumile, that your mom died in the fire, I was literally like pure adrenaline. Like nothing was real. I was just focused on like saying it was so real. And then, like, oh my gosh, freaking Oscar-winning freaking performances, Tavumile. It was so good. Like,
oh, thanks.
I was wondering because I was just like, man, this is getting really heavy. Like, how are you gonna? And it was so like in character for her too. I'm gonna listen back to that and be like, freaking goodness gracious.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, I guess you also all have to wait to freaking
see
find
what happens. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as y'all, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm in a different boat.
Yeah, you're you are the captain of this boat.
I am the captain of the boat. I'm the captain of the fleet, and you're the caboose.
And we're all tied up in the ground.
Yep.
In the ground.
In the ground. In the boat ground.
In the hull? The hull? The hull?
That's like the boat's body.
Yeah.
In the hull? In the hull?
Like you go downstairs and we're all tied up, and then you come downstairs as the captain, and then you're like,
what's the what's up, guys? I'm the captain. What's the place for the brig?
The brig.
That's where you are.
I was like, the hull?
The boat prison, boat jail.
Yeah. And then we have to listen to you.
Let me regale you of a tale of a girl whose mother died. Or did she?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bro. Holy crap. Well, goodbye.
Well, goodbye.